for Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Hello and welcome to the broadcast. I am Ben Horner, thanking you so much for joining us on what is a great edition and a great weekend of Wildcats hockey here at the K. Yeager Coliseum as we kick off Jersey Off Our Back Weekend 2015 to benefit Children's Miracle Network at United Regional Healthcare System. As tonight the Wildcats open up a two-game set against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees, a team that the Wildcats have enjoyed good success against this year. They are 3-0-0 against the Killer Bees, and they also have a 3-0 lead in another game that has been postponed and will be concluded at a later time. More on that as we go throughout the broadcast tonight and tomorrow throughout the weekend. But suffice it to say, as the Wildcats look to right the ship after a little blip, a 3-2 loss against the Topeka Roadrunners their last time out, they are hungry to reestablish their home dominance here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Last Saturday when the Wildcats fell 3-2 to the Runners, it marked the first loss at the K. Yeager Coliseum since October the 4th against the Lone Star Brahmas, a run of 11 home games, 12 if you count that Topeka game last Saturday, came to an end. That was a new franchise record for Wichita Falls, but all good things must end, and so too did their home winning streak last weekend, and also a little bit of a mini winning streak. 4-gamer got snapped last Saturday evening, but it wasn't for lack of effort. The Wildcats played a very strong game against the Roadrunners. It was back and forth, evenly contested, exactly as you would expect throughout the teams who were first and second in the South Division heading into the contest last Saturday. Back and forth all night long. Topeka takes a 1-0 lead. The Wildcats answer back. The Runners take a 2-1 lead in the second. The Wildcats answer back, and the Cats had chance after chance in the third period and a couple of grade A looks with about 6-7 minutes left. They went begging, and after that, you could tell that perhaps those were the best chances the Wildcats were going to get, and as a result, they just weren't able to hold off the Runners. A goal with 2:34 remaining in the third period by Mike Gornall set up a grandstand finish from the Wildcats. They had a couple of good looks in and around the net in the last 25-30 seconds or so. Tomek turned them all aside as the Wildcats stumbled to the 3-2 loss. So what does that all mean in terms of the standings? Well, it saw the Wildcats slip from second into third place in the South Division season standings. Reminder, the first and second spots so important this year because they get the bye into the divisional semifinals and avoid having to play a best-of-3 series against the lower-seeded teams. Reminder, in the South Division this year with 8 teams in play, 6 will make the divisions with 1 and 2 getting a bye into the division semifinals. So Topeka, 27-8-3 entering the weekend. That's 57 points for the Runners. They are in first place and playing host to the Lone Star Brahmas this Friday and Saturday. 24-8-3 are the Brahmas. They are in second place with 51 points. They played a game more than the Wildcats, though, so the Wildcats still with a game in hand, a point back from the Lone Star Brahmas, but they'll keep an eye on that series up in Topeka this weekend as the Brahmas, who have had some trouble on the road this season, will take the show away from the NYTEC Center for the first time in some time against the Runners this weekend. But back to the action at hand, the Wildcats come into tonight's contest 25-9-0, and as the Killer Bees enter tonight's contest with a mark of 13-7-5. What you need to know about Rio Grande Valley is that they are stronger at home than they are on the road, as so many teams in this division are. 5-11-3 away from what they call the Hive, State Farm Arena in Hidalgo, Texas. The Bees are 5-11-3. They have 1 road win in their last 12 away contests, but be wary if you are a Wildcats fan. 6 of those 12 contests have been 1-goal games, so it is not as if the Runners are getting blown out. It's not as if they are not in these contests. Very tightly played games between the Killer Bees and their opposition over the last month or so, but this is a good opportunity for the Wildcats, a team that has struggled a bit defensively over the last 2-3 weeks and really stretching back over the last month or so. It's a good opportunity to right the ship defensively and in their own zone, shore up their play along the walls. I had a chance to talk with Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine all about that this morning. We'll hear his full thoughts in the first intermission. But he is indeed looking to see his team shut down the opposition shots. He's been very displeased with how many shots against the Wildcats are allowing, just about 30 shots on goal against, hoping to see his team do a little bit better in that regard this weekend. They have a good shot, as this is a Rio Grande Valley squad that is averaging 25.5 shots on goal per game, which is 22nd in the league. Well, the Wildcats defense should get a bit of a boost this weekend, though, as returning to the lineup for the first time since October the 31st is number 16, Jeff Baum. I had a chance to speak with Jeff earlier today. Here's what he had to say ahead of his first game back in over 2.5 months. Ben Horner with you here, Wildcats fans, and I'm joined now by Wildcats defenseman Jeff Baum, who is back in the lineup for the first time since October the 31st. Jeff, how's it feel to get back out there with the guys tonight?
It feels good. It's great to be back in Wichita Falls, and I'm really looking forward to a good game tonight.
Gone in 4 games before you got hurt after being a late arrival to the Wildcats. Was it a little frustrating for you, feeling like you had just started to click with your new teammates and then you start off with a big absence like that?
Yeah, it was tough only getting to play 4 games, but everybody was behind me and really took care of me during my injury, and it feels good to be back.
Of course, you have one big advantage, Jeff, living close in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so you were able to keep tabs on your teammates back here in Wichita Falls while still getting treated down in Dallas. Was that a little bit of a boost for you also?
Yeah, it was nice to be able to go home and be with my family and do everything I can to get my ankle better, but nice to be close enough that I can come back to Wichita and see the boys and stay in contact with them throughout the season.
All right, Jeff, good luck out there tonight and the rest of the way. Thanks. There, Baum back in the lineup tonight. He will pair with Shane Kosmeski. Jeff is a guy who came to the Wildcats at the beginning of October, had been a little bit of a cast-off in the BCHL. He was a draft pick of the Wildcats over the summer and showed why in the 4 games that we saw him play for the Cats in October. A goal and 2 assists for Baum. He actually opened his account with the Wildcats by posting 2 assists against Amarillo in that big 9-1 win back in October, and when he was a +4 for his trouble there. So Jeff Baum, a bit of a puck mover here for the Wildcats along the blue line, might be just what they needed in getting that puck out of their zone quicker, which has been something that has really plagued them over the last month or so. They've been getting hemmed in their own zone, and part of it is they're not winning the battle to clear the puck out on the first time of asking. If they can get back to doing that tonight against a Rio Grande Valley team that likes to rim the puck around and win that first puck off the wall, it'll go a long way towards some success here this evening. Now let's turn our attention now to the starting lineups brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant. We'll start with the starting lineups of the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. On the left wing, it'll be number 25, Stathis Zumulidis, who's been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Wildcats this year. In 3 games played for Zumulidis against Wichita Falls, he scored a goal in each game. On the year, Zumulidis has 8 goals and 5 assists for 13 points. He stands at 6'2", 215 pounds, hailing out of Prague, Czech Republic. Centering will be Elliot Lorraine, a newcomer to this Killer Bees squad, just his 3rd game played here tonight. He's got assists to his credit thus far. Lorraine comes to Rio Grande Valley out of Stockholm, Sweden. A lot of roster turnover on this Rio Grande Valley squad. 17 guys who have started off the year on this roster are no longer on the squad this year. On the right wing, Parker Wood playing in game number 34 for Wood, 6', 185 pounds, wearing number 11. Joint top scorer on this team, 24 points on 10 goals and 14 assists for Mr. Wood, as he has a goal and 2 assists, or goal and an assist in his last 5 games played. On the left side, it's Evan Bell of the blue line on defense, 5'11", 185 pounds for the 97 birth year. He's played in 34 games for Rio Grande Valley this year. 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points for Evan Bell. Pairing with him will be Jack Weiss, number 10. Weiss hailing out of Bloomington, Minnesota. The 1994 birth year, 5'11", 170 pounds. Weiss on the year has 5 assists in 32 games played. And starting in net for Rio Grande Valley will be Nick Schmidt, number 31, 6', 185 pounds. The 94 birth year is 6'9" on the season, a .300 goals against average, and an .899 save percentage. He has started each of the last 6 games for Rio Grande Valley, and he has been red hot over his last 7 or so. 3-2-1 in his last 10 contests and 7 games played in that span. 1.52 goals against average and a .932 save percentage, but his road numbers, not so good. We'll get to those in just a second. Head coach of the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees is Joe Coombs. Assistant coaches are Brad Lutch and Joe Brown. Now for the starting lineups for your Wichita Falls Wildcats. And again, we'll start on the left wing. It'll be Kevin Sheridan on the left side, the leading goal scorer on this squad. 29 points on the year on 19 goals and 10 assists. He stands at 5'10", 165 pounds. And at Jameson, Pennsylvania, Sheridan wears number 28 and is committed to the Air Force Academy. Centering will be Nick Farmer, who is quite possibly the hottest skater in the league right now, with an 8-game point streak to his credit. He's got 13 points in his last 5 games. Farmer on the year, 34 points on 14 goals and 20 assists in 34 games played for the Colbert, Washington native, who stands at 6 foot, 185 pounds. On the right wing is Eric Yeager, back on the forward unit after playing the last 5 games on defense as Yeager at a Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Yeager stands at 6 foot, 175 pounds with 5 goals and 12 assists for 17 points in 31 games played for Mr. Yeager, who is committed to the Air Force Academy as well. On the blue line for Wichita Falls, Matt Cook will be on the left side of the blue line, 6'1", 195 pounds for the Hastings, Minnesota native, 34 games played for Cook, and he leads all North American Hockey League defensemen with 33 points on 4 goals and 29 assists. Pairing with him will be Cam Knight, 6'1", 190 pounds out of North Reading, Massachusetts, with 24 points on the year. Cam Knight is just the 3rd rookie defenseman to boast 20 points for the Wildcats in team history. He has 7 goals and 17 assists, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. And starting in net tonight, Austin Shaw, the Princeton University commit, 6'4", 205 pounds. Out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, he's 14-4-0 with a .291 goals against average and a .903 save percentage. Head coach of the Wildcats is John LaFontaine in his first season. Chris Saransky is the assistant in his second campaign in Wichita Falls. Tonight's officials, Andrew Collins, the referee, Michael Semick, and Aaron Schecht patrolling the blue lines and the end lines as the linesmen this evening. Those are the Pelicans Restaurant starting lineups, brought to you, of course, by Pelicans Restaurant, located at 2301 Midwestern Parkway, across from Midwestern State University. Pelicans Restaurant offers Texoma the choicest beef, freshest fish, and the area's best wine list. Next time you're in the Falls, be sure to visit our friends at Pelicans for fine dining in a family atmosphere. That'll do it for us on the pregame show. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have puck drop between the Killer Bees and your Wichita Falls Wildcats here from the K. Yeager Coliseum, as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this. Good evening to you from the K. Yeager Coliseum, where the ice is down, the lights are up, and we are just about set for Wildcats hockey, presented by Armored Roofing. Ben Horner with you, Wildcats fans. Thanks so much for joining us on a Friday evening as the Wildcats kick off Jersey off our back night 2015. As you see, the Wildcats wearing their special Children's Miracle Network inspired jerseys. They'll be auctioned off after the game tomorrow evening, with all funds going to benefit CMN at United Regional right here in Wichita Falls. As Austin Shaw is in the cage to my right, wearing his special CMN jersey as the Cats skate from right to left across your screen. That's P to Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way, obviously, are the Killer Bees, left to right across your screen. Nick Schmidt in the cage to our left, as it will be Farmer taking the opening face-off Against Elliott Lorraine, it'll be Andrew Collins, the referee, who will bring them together. The Wildcats looking to score the first goal here tonight and build a lead and hopefully not relinquish it. They've had some trouble with that over the last few weeks or so. Just 4-4 over the last 8 games are the Wildcats. So Farmer against Lorraine. Collins to drop the puck, and it is down. We are underway in the first period. Brought to you by American Classified. As off the draw, it's controlled by the Cats. Cam Knight lumbering his way to the red line, sends this one into the catching glove of Schmidt, who will hold on, and we'll get our first whistle of the night just 11 seconds into the opening period. Reminder that this period of play is brought to you by American Classified, and Wildcats hockey is brought to you by Armored Roofing. As a faceoff will come to the left of Nick Schmidt. Killer Bees getting on a line change here, and with that we'll see a change in defenseman for Wichita Falls. As Cam Knight, a little late to recognize he needs to get off the ice, but what that does is it gives us our first look at Jeff Baum in quite some time, just his second game at the K. Yeager Coliseum after that lower body injury that caused him to miss a good better part of 3.5 months. This one chipped all the way down low. First to it here will be a Killer Bees skater. It's Connor Wood, jabbed away from him by Kuzmeski in his own zone. Kuzmeski getting worked over a little bit here, trying to kick it free. It's picked up behind the cage of Shaw by Nick Farmer. Farmer looking to start the breakout here, chips off the glass, hoping for Sherazin, who will sweep it along in deep and come to the bench for a change. First to it here, picking this one up is a Demarifi. Swoops forward. His pass off to the left wing side. Skittered off the stick of Christopher DePrez. No, it did not skitter off his stick, so that will be icing against the Killer Bees, and that'll give the Wildcats an offensive zone faceoff with 19:16 remaining in the first period. And Wildcats with a little bit of a line shuffling here. Obviously, Baum is back on defense, so that shifts Yeager back to forward. He is dressing with Sherazin and Farmer. Litviak skating with Falconer and Subri. And the odd man out in that is Evan Oakley, who is scratched for the first time this season. Face-off, one there by Staub nicely. Back up to the blue line. Townsend towards the net, off a body in front, caroms away to the near side wall. Into the corner it goes. Trying to dig it free there was Staub along with Albrecht and Lazarus. Puck is loose in the neutral zone. Kicked free to Cherniak by Staub, and Townsend starts it forward once more. Here is Townsend along the wall. Drops it for Albrecht there. Albrecht on his offhand has to let this one go. Staub hooks this one towards the front of the net. Goes behind the cage. Off to the far side, it trickles. At the half wall, Albrecht tries to dig it loose. Ties his man up along the wall. Demarifi first to it here. He'll bump it back along to be picked up by Trevor Abbott, and the Bees will start this up ice. Only as far as the neutral zone, though. Here's Albrecht gaining the zone once more. Quick shot saved and held by Schmidt, and we'll get another whistle. 18:34 remaining in the first period. The Wildcats with the first couple of shots on goal, and we'll get you Nick Schmidt's numbers on the road. I mentioned he had been hot over his last 7 games or so, but 1-6-2 in games where the Killer Bees are the road team, with a 3.26 goals against and a 9.04 save percentage on the year. As I mentioned, 6-9-2 with a 3 even goals against. Pap getting a false start warning here. He'll stay in the draw. He won this one hoping for Beaulieu. It wasn't able to reach him here, and it's wrapped around the boards. Nicely held by Cook just at the blue line there, and it's played down into the corner. Rolling behind the net, Apap with it there. Tries to touch towards the middle for Reisinger. Reisinger couldn't reach this one as he tries to hold his own. Got his stick in the way there, but couldn't reach the loose puck. As starting it forward, here's Evan Bell. Off to the left wing side. Croston hustling after this one. Back checked off him there. Nice, good, hard, aggressive skate by Apap to get the puck right back. It's up the ice for Reisinger. Onside, Reisinger shot wide of the cage, hoping for a stick in front. Instead, it works its way up to the blue line. Sweeping at it there to hold the zone where the Wildcats down low. Here's Beaulieu. Quick shot through the blue paint. Nobody out there on the other side. Here's Kuzmeski in front. Here's Beaulieu. Quick shot blocked there. He'll get it right back. Up to the point once more. Shot. Glove save there by Schmidt, and he'll hold on. Came from the stick of Jeff Baum there. He got one quickly on net after Beaulieu had a couple of decent looks in the slot. 17:47 remaining in the first, and what you watch for with a guy like Jeff Baum, just returning from a lower body injury and a broken ankle to be precise, you watch for that explosiveness on that first stride, and also his ability to transition from skating backwards to forwards and vice versa. Started back practicing with the Wildcats just this week. Clearly the coaching staff felt comfortable enough to put him in there tonight with a little bit of practice time. Gaining the zone, or at least momentarily doing so, were the Killer Bees. Having a hold up here was Bennett, had his pocket picked, as this is Connor Wood playing it back to his defense. Van Tile, he'll get to the red one and pitch this red line and pitch this one in deep. First to it there is Bennett, but Baum took this one away as now Falconer will look to start it up the ice. As Subri to his left, Falconer plays this one in deep to avoid an offside as going into the corner to try to dig it loose for the Wildcats. Subri wasn't able to reach that loose puck. Skating forward with it here is Zach Bennett. Bennett chips this one into the corner and goes towards the bench for a change as Farmer will look to skate this one up the wall on the breakout. Hard cross-ice pass and nobody in particular trying to get body position there with Sheridan. Causes an offside play. The Wildcats tag up as we've had 3 minutes played in this first period. Now it's Connor Wood leaving this one behind, hauled down, no call up coming right in front of Collins, the referee. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt as this skitters towards the cage of Shaw, and Chernyuk will bank this one off the wall. Played softly ahead. Trying to skate onto this one there was Nick Farmer. Too far from him from Nikita Litviak as this is picked up by Ademarifi and played in deep. Hard around the board. Zumalides hustling over there to challenge Townsend with it. Townsend got this one along for Farmer, who floats this one back towards the near side. Sheridan wasn't able to reach this loose puck. Turning up the ice with her, trying to there was Dallas Gerads. Gerads has his pocket picked, and it's on the stick of Sheridan. He let it forward for Colin Staub. Staub off to the right wing side, a little too far for Yeager. Back towards the middle there. Behind the net with it, here's Colin Staub. Still on 99 career points is Staub as Sheridan picks this one up. Serve down low. Staub, toe pick there, went awkwardly into the corner boards. No call forthcoming as a loose puck is served in deep here by Cam Knight. Wasn't able to get it all the way into the corner, though, as Ademarifi intercepted just inside his own blue line. Sent all the way down the ice. This will be icing here as Knight is back there to get the whistle. And we will get that said whistle from Shaq, the linesman. 15:51 remaining in the first period. As we are scoreless here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Jersey off our back weekend 2015 to benefit Children's Miracle Network. As you're seeing the Wildcats wear their special CMN-inspired jerseys. It is superhero year for CMN with Super Wildcats splayed across the front of those jerseys. Off the face-off, it's rimmed around the boards. Trying to hustle down here is Dallas Gerads to beat the icing, but Kuzmeski will get back there first. And it will be another offensive zone face-off coming out of that one for Wichita Falls. Always a big event here for the Wildcats when we do Children's Miracle Network. It is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year and one of the biggest fundraisers that any team in the North American Hockey League does. The Wildcats have raised over $500,000 through the Jersey Off Our Back promotion and fundraiser since 2002-2003, back when the franchise was known as the Wichita Falls Rustlers. On the face-off, picked up by Rio Grande Valley. Funky bounce. Kuzmeski shot save. Puck loose, and it's slotted away to the corner after a carom off a glass support led to a great chance in front for Kuzmeski. Kicked along here. It was Lazarus. Wasn't able to corral, and it's floated down the ice. Will come up short of icing as Kuzmeski is back to collect here. He'll turn up the ice, plays off to the far side, towards the cage of Shaw. He'll sweep it along for Kuzmeski, who goes right back off to the other side. Pass through the middle. Nice play there. That was Lazarus looking for Albrecht. No icing here as Albrecht got to stick to this one. This is picked up by Evan Bell in his own zone. His pass, he was hoping for Wisely, intercepted. Now it's loose. Skated onto here by Williams, rather Balsamo. Balsamo forced wide to the corner there by Townsend. Balsamo loses out on this one. Chernyuk back behind the cage of Shaw. Swept around to the near side half wall. Albrecht couldn't win the puck. Van Tile towards the net, off a body in front. Karaming towards the middle there, and it's knocked away to the back wall. Wisely lost out on this one. This is Apap trying to fight off the check there and play this one down. He did so, skittered over a stick and comes up short of icing as we played 5.5 minutes in this first period. No score between the Killer Bees and the Wildcats. All the way down the ice this goes and will be icing as Cam Knight was back there just in front of Zach Bennett with 14:33 remaining in the first period. And a bit of a sluggish start to this one here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Both teams kind of just feeling each other out a little bit here. The Wildcats, a full week off after their game against on Saturday. Likewise for Rio Grande Valley. Played at home last Friday and Saturday. Split the series with the Amarillo Bulls. That's a battle to watch for the sixth and final playoff spot. Face-off one. Here's Cook loading his shot, blocked in front. And this is picked up here and skated forward by Rio Grande Valley. Chipping this one past Cam Knight was Zach Bennett. Bennett goes to the corner there where he'll duel with Cam Knight. Matt Cook led this one softly along to the near side wall it comes. Subri jabs at this one, can't clear the zone towards the net, well wide of the cage. Connor Wood couldn't get a stick to it in front. Cook behind the net. Jabbed up towards the far side half wall. Litviak let his man skate past him. Serve back down low. This is Connor Wood into the corner trying to fight through the check of Cam Knight. Knight draped all over him, wins that duel as Litviak looks to spin this one all the way down the ice. This will go for icing here against the Wildcats. Not sure what Nikita was looking for there. 14:08 remaining in the first, and a tired unit will have to stay out there with a defensive zone draw coming to the right of Austin Shaw. Shaw, by the way, will get you his numbers here. 14-4-0 on the year, 291 goals against and a 903 save percentage. As is 7-1-0 at home with a 259 goals against and a 903 save percentage. That loss last Saturday against Topeka was his first loss at home this year. Quick shot, never got all the way through. It's deflected in front there by Lorraine and skittered just wide of Shaw's right-hand post. Picking this one up on the rush, jabbed at there by Subri. He was able to do just enough to force this one along. The Wildcats trying to work up a change here as they'll finally be able to finish this one out. 13:45 remaining in the first. 0-0 here, wiping out here, and it's a turnover, skating it forward. Here's Litviak, toe drag, and he lost out on it as this one is off the glass. In the neutral zone, glove down here by Jeff Baum. Kosmeski looking to motor forward. Kosmeski to the right wing wall. Farmer back in front, nobody home. It's up to Yeager, top of the left wing circle. Nice stick move here by Yeager. He'll take it to the corner. Yeager, nice job to protect down low. Sherazin has it there, looking to hook out in front, never got all the way through to Farmer. Sherazin shot, puck loose there. They'll jam for it, and it's skittered wide as Schmidt was just able to seal off the post. Here's Evan Bell. Serves it back along, hoping for a man on the far side. Instead, Baum stepped along to hold the zone. Wildcats weren't able to step onto this loose puck, though, as in the neutral zone once more, a couple of guys will stack up in front of the sin bins. Bell rolls this one off the glass. Down it skips. No icing here, as back to collect is Shane Kosmeski. Takes off the forecheck there of Croston. It off the wall and out, only as far as Adamarifi, who gets it quickly along to Abbott through the middle of the ice, hooked along here. Here's a quick little chance and a save there by Shaw as Balsamo's chance was canceled out by the blocker of Shaw. Nice save there. That's the first time Shaw has been called into action here. First shot on goal for Rio Grande Valley. It's a grade A look, but Shaw was equal to the task as this one is bumped back in deep. Townsend canceled out here. He'll fight to the check and run it up the wall there, hoping for Albrecht, and he found him. Albrecht fought through the check and got it along for Staub. Gaining the zone here is Lazarus. Haul down, Staub jabs it towards the middle. It's Yeager now once more, and Staub will hold the zone. Staub looking to protect. He'll try to chip this one towards the corner. He got it all the way down low. Bell ridden off nicely there by Albrecht, but they weren't able to grab the loose puck. Here is Staub, fanning at this one. Dogged check there by Lazarus. He just wasn't able to get it, as this is Townsend back in his own zone. Along to the near side for Chernyuk. Now back to Townsend up the middle. He'll skate. Off to the right wing wall for Staub. Back along for Albrecht. Now Staub. Here's Staub. Looking to play it towards the middle there. Spiked away from him. He'll get this one right back. Now in the corner. Now at the half wall. Here's Colin Staub. He'll look to protect and skate all the way down low with it before leaving it for Lazarus. 11:35 remaining. Here's Albrecht towards the front of the net. And Schmidt will cover up. 11:36 remaining in the first period. The Wildcats are scoreless here against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees, 0-0. First goal, obviously, I say it every weekend, is important. Wildcats 18-1-0 when scoring first. Rio Grande Valley is 7-5-2 when scoring first. So, not too much intensity yet, but play is moving along at a fairly brisk pace here at the KYC. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Draw to the right of Nick Schmidt is one here by Rio Grande Valley. They'll rim this one along. Townsend tries to hold the zone. Did so momentarily and a second time, but now it's cleared. Only as far as Bolio in the neutral zone. Back in on side, just away from Reisinger, as this is flipped out into the middle of the ice. Between the blue lines, this is banked forward. This will not be icing here, as Bolio will beat it back. Schmidt jams it just away from Bolio, as Abbott works this one along to the far side. Stathis Sumalides can't go up the wall with this one. It's Townsend up ahead, hoping for Bolio there. Bolio couldn't corral the puck cleanly, and Rio Grande Valley will take the chance to send it all the way down. 9 minutes played in a scoreless first period here as Townsend gains the red line, plays into the middle for Apap. Here's a stick move by Apap, and he's forced towards the corner. Hook towards the middle, caroming around, and it goes behind everybody. Last out. Matt Cook picks this one up at the red line, looking to spin back and play a pass through the middle of the ice. Apap and Reisinger come together here, led along nicely as Cam Knight puts this one in and out of the glove there of Nick Schmidt, who is not tracking the puck particularly well at the moment. Holding the zone, or trying to, was Falconer, as on a second attempt, Litviak and Falconer take it away from G-Rads. Falconer down low looking for Litviak in the corner there. Abbott rolled off it there, but not before he played it behind to a teammate, as this is Dallas G-Rads playing this one in deep, as Rio Grande Valley will start up a change. Shaw left this one along to be picked up by Matt Cook. Cook looking to lumber his way forward. Chipped off to the near side wall for Subri. Subri takes a little knock up high, but not before he forces the puck down lower. Subri has his pocket picked here. Now look out, could be a 3-on-2 the other way for Rio Grande Valley. Leading the charge here, the Killer Bees. Here's a quick shot and possibly a toe save there by Austin Shaw. Oh, Van Tile ridden hard down to the ice there by Subri. Cats can't clear the zone quite yet. Quick little shot is blocked in front there. Bomb lunging for this one. Turnaround shot is saved and held by Austin Shaw. That one coming from the stick of Lorraine. 9:47 remaining in the first period. The Wildcats and Killer Bees are scoreless, 0-0, as we'll enter a media timeout here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Wildcats are 16-3-0 in games where they are the home team officially. They are 14-3-0 at the KYC. Draw coming to the right of Austin Shaw when we get back to play here. But the guy who just took that shot, Elliot Lorraine, kind of indicative of the roster turnover that Rio Grande Valley has been kind of going through this year. 17 guys, as I mentioned in the pregame, and that includes, notably, Kyle Stefan, who was the joint leading scorer of this Killer Bees squad. Stefan traded to the Wenatchee Wild at the beginning of the week. Lorraine, for his part, Stockholm, Sweden, as an assist in his first two games for Rio Grande Valley, but looks a pretty good little offensive player. Face off to the right of Shaw. One back. Loading a shot is Bell, and it goes wide of the cage. Shaw might have gotten that covered. Click towards it. Puck is loose there, and now it's loose behind the cage before Townsend swats it away from danger. Bell at the left point. Shot towards the net, ticking around in front there. Townsend walled off it as he'll try to work it off to the far side half wall. Farmer, that will take a penalty there. Down softly to the ice was Connor Wood, but that's a check-in from behind. There is a boarding will be the official call. 9:24 remaining in the first period as the Wildcats are scoreless, but they will be heading to the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. First time this evening that either team has taken a penalty, and this is a good opportunity for the Wildcats to get back to basics on their penalty kill, which has struggled of late, and there's no two ways about that. It's been some time since the Wildcats have really performed well on the penalty kill, and that stretch where they had killed off about 19 in a row seems like a distant memory right now. On the year, 17th in the league, 81.5% on the kill. One back to the point. Here's Weiss, a shot blocked in front. Cleared all the way down there by Matt Cook in front. 110 for 135 on the Gilmore's Collision Center PKR, the Wildcats. Meanwhile, on the power play, are the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees are 20 for 142. This one towards the cage of Shaw. He'll cover up and draw the whistle with 1:39 remaining in the boarding call to Nick Farmer. Killer Bees on the air, 14.1% on the power play. That's 19th in the league out of 24 teams. On the road, their power play, 10 for 85, 11.8%, which is 21st out of a 24-team league. Face off to the left of Shaw here. 9:02 remaining in the first period. And a bit of a sleepy start at the K. Yeager Coliseum here on a Friday evening. An unseasonably warm Friday here, even by Wichita Falls standards. As off the face-off, this is sent all the way down the ice. Nicely there, as this is Schmidt sticking this one along for Evan Bell. Almost a miscommunication there that almost resulted in a turnover, but instead Connor Wood will skate this one forward. Rather, that's Parker Wood. Parker Wood gains his own, plays it back to the point. This one is played softly down the ice by Cook as the Wildcats will start up a wholesale change, and Albrecht, rather Lazarus, getting some time on the PK, hustles in short-handed on the forecheck. Halfway through the penalty to Nick Farmer here. 8:30 remaining in the scoreless first period. Gaining the zone, here's Rio Grande Valley. corralling the puck below the goal line. It's Croston. He'll skate it all the way around and gives up to the point. Off to the near side. Abbott's one-timer sticked away there in front. Jabbed out there by Van Tile on a one-handed sweep attempt as it's loose in the corner. One back up to the point for Abbott. Abbott walks to the middle, now looks to serve it back to the near side. Croston shot blocked there. Nice play by Chernyuk as he'll sweep it all the way down the ice on the big long reach. 8 minutes remaining in the first period. 35 seconds remaining in the Killer Bees power play. The first penalty of the game, it went against Nick Farmer for a boarding minor as the Wildcats on the Gilmore Collision Center penalty kill. Abbott almost walked through everybody. Instead, it's hooked away from him at the last second as this is Evan Bell spiking this one away from an on-rushing Austin Bolio. Here is Croston. Last 15 seconds of the power play. Now motoring forward, here is Bell. His shot wide of the cage. Shaw was tracking it all the way up to the point. Held in by Weiss. Now Balsamo. Reaching for it is Balsamo. Trying to walk down the wall. Cook jabs it away from him. Bolio clears but not out. Weiss walks towards the middle. Now Balsamo outside the circle. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Farmer is out of the sin bin. Played into the corner there for Croston. Walled off there was Croston by Cook as trying to jab it free is Cam Knight below the goal line. Still trying to work it free as a three-a-side battle ensues. APAP involved there with Cam Knight and Cook. Walking free. Here's Schofield in a shot. That was saved there. Balsamo looking to hook out in front there. And he was taken off it as Matt Cook will look to step forward. He'll get to the red line here with 4 guys in front. He'll play it softly to the corner and go in pursuit. Off the outside of the cage there. It's swept back along by Weiss as Balsamo looks to start this forward. Balsamo lost the skates and the linesman there in front of the sin bin. They'll jab for it with 6:40 remaining in the first period. Sheridan jabs it loose. Falls to the stick of Wisely. Wisely chips towards the end line and will hustle in after it here. Balsamo looking to hook out in front there as someone had gotten himself unmarked on top of the crease. Now it's a Demarifi. Wendling there. Taken off it by Jeff Baum as Cook will serve this one off the back of the cage of Shaw. Trying to jab that one free on the far side was Yeager. Still loose below the goal line. Rio Grande Valley trying to buzz a little bit here as Eric Yeager on the far side loses out, trying to walk in front. Puck is still loose, and a toe save there by Austin Shaw on a good recovery attempt. Here's Arifi now. He'll pull it off the wall. Slung cross ice. Here's Abbott. His shot backdoor looking for a stick on the near side, and it was taken away to the near side wall. Towards the cage of Shaw. Picking this one up is Eric Yeager, and he'll look to skate forward. At the red line is Yeager. No icing here as the Wildcats are in the midst of a change. Turned over here, looking to play towards the middle. Lost in a few bodies. Now it's Staub. Nice corral here by Colin Staub. He'll go to the corner. Here is Staub. Down low, it's Lazarus. His shot saved there, and it went up to the glass. Chernyuk chips down low, looking for Staub. Staub canceled his man out. Played towards the middle there, and it was knifed away from Albrecht as he went to pull the trigger. Lazarus trying to dig it free. Now it's Staub. Protecting there, got it down low as he was upended, but wasn't able to hold the zone as this is skated forward here by Parker Wood. Wood lost out on the reach there by Chernyuk as Colin Staub will re-corral. Here is Staub in his own zone. 5:10 remaining in the first period. Stick move there. Colin had it skitter off his blade as he'll try to re-corral and do just that. Cross ice. It's Albrecht. Albrecht gaining the zone. Chipped in front for Lazarus there. That was Lazarus on a return for Albrecht rather, as it was just away from him. Still on the forecheck here is Lazarus. He was able to hold his own momentarily. A loose puck is picked up here by Dallas G-Rods as trying to dig it free was DePrez. His dumping attempt, onside play here. Walking forward, it's Croston. Backhander towards the middle of the ice, and Litviak picks this one up, touches it along to Subri. Here is Subri, one-on-one hill skate, waits for reinforcements, drop pass. Townsend holding shot, it went up high and got the glass. Falconer chips this one towards the corner, lost in the skates of the official, but Litviak pulls it free, and we get a whistle as the net is off its moorings. 4:29 remaining in the first period. 0-0 the score here. And after the Wildcats had the better of the early play, a power play opportunity that came up scoreless for Rio Grande Valley. Has evened things up in the shot category anyway. 7-5 in favor of the Cats, but 0-0 in the goal column where it matters most. Face-off coming to the left of Nick Schmidt. Will take the draw for the Wildcats here. Quick delay as they clear some loose equipment from the ice. Someone lost a stick in all of that. Waved out of the draw here will be Balsamo, not too pleased about it. Off the Off. Falconer can't jab this one free. Glove down nicely there by Baum, or rather Kuzmeski. Rather, it was Baum on the first attempt. The Wildcats have to tag up on a delayed offside as Baum plays this one in deep. Litviak tried to glove it down, couldn't reach up and grab it though, as this is Jack Weiss in his own end. Weiss worked it up the wall where it skitters into the neutral zone. Baum played this one along for Kuzmeski. Kuzmeski at the red line, played in deep there, first to it, and it was picked up here by Rio Grande Valley. Walking it forward here, the Killer Bees, slap shot. That one steered wide there by Austin Shaw. Subri steps onto the loose puck. Tries to jab up the wall for Litviak, and he did. Litviak walled off it, tries to jab in front there. Instead, it's picked up here by Connor Wood. Wood has a man in the middle, played towards the front of the net there, and a back check, and Kuzmeski swept it from danger. Danger not completely gone, however, as Wendling has his pocket picked by Apap on the back check, as this is played back to the near side. Kuzmeski trying to skate onto this one and jab it forward. On a second attempt, he'll sweep at it, but can't clear it all the way down. Apap, nice protect here. A couple of Wildcats are bunched up in front of their own bench. They can't send the puck all the way down low, as this is Abbott ripping it on cage of Austin Shaw from 100 feet away. Steered away there, but only as far as the stick of Lorraine. Apap worked up the wall for Bolio. Now it's Cam Knight. Might be a 2-on-1 as Knight tries to split the D. Onside play. Knight hooking it along there, hoping for Reisinger, but it's jabbed away to the near side corner. 3:45 remaining in the first period. Outlet pass off a leg of Farmer and goes all the way down. So that negates an icing as hustling back is Cam Knight. Bumped it along for Farmer. Farmer clears up the wall. Reisinger jabs at this one. Second attempt, Farmer is able to force this one into the neutral zone, but it's held there and played in deep by Click. First to it here is Matt Cook. Cook in his own end, getting a forecheck there aggressively. I believe that's Sumalidis on the challenge, but he worked it along for Sherazin. Here is Sherazin walking into the middle. Sherazin shot blocked. Another attempt, and he wasn't able to pull the trigger. Good back check there, done by Daniel Nilsson, as this is loose in front of the net. Having some trouble with it there was Bell. Rather, that was Click, who had the nice back check there to cancel out Sherazin. One forward here by the Wildcats, though. Farmer trying to dig it free, has it on his stick, towards the net, spilled, rebound, and Sherazin played in front there, stashed wide by Yeager. Schmidt got himself all tied in knots there. This one cleared out of play, straight out of play, they say, so that will keep the faceoff down low and prevent the Bees from changing. 2:50 remaining in the first period, and the first real good look that the Wildcats have generated tonight, but Schmidt was able to steer it aside. So I think, unbeknownst to yours truly, Daniel Nilsson is not playing tonight. Instead, Robert Click is dressing for him. As perhaps a late scratch. Hearing that there's an injury or a bug going through the Rio room. Shot wide of the cage off the draw, coming from the stick of Lazarus. Into the neutral zone, it works its way along for Townsend. Townsend floats this one forward. Here is Staub gaining the zone. His shot punched away there. To the near side, off the blocker save. Chernyuk hacks at this, can't keep it in deep. Now here's Girard skating forwards. His shot fought off there by Austin Shaw. Chernyuk up the wall, into the middle of the ice. Nicely there by Albrecht. Staub and Lazarus were waiting for the loose puck, but it was played away from everybody. Townsend leads it forward. Nobody there on the other end of that one as we tick down towards 2 minutes remaining in the first. Here's a Demarifi. Up ahead to Girads. Girads gains the zone at the right wing wall. Left behind there. Little collision. Sees the puck squirt free. It's picked up by Jeff Baum with Colin Staub to his right. Here is Baum gaining the zone. He'll play down the wall for Staub. Staub hooks it out towards the middle. They'll jam for it, and Schmidt covers as crashing down low was Lazarus after Staub had hooked it towards the front of the net. Minute 56 remaining in this first period. 0-0 the score here from the K. Yeager Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. The faceoff will come to the right of Schmidt here. Neither goaltender, although there are 18 shots total, 11 for the Cats, 7 for Rio Grande Valley. Another goaltender has had a whole lot to do in terms of difficulty of saves, aside from that one chance that Shaw turned aside out in front, as this one off the faceoff is down below the goal line of Nick Schmidt. Rattling along to the near side wall, it caroms forward. First to it here is Lorraine. Rather, this is picked up here by Balsamo. Balsamo took it from Schofield. Pocket pick there. Headman pass. Litviak racing forward at the right wing wall. Van Tile with him. Hooked back towards the middle. Puck is loose there as Falconer wasn't able to take it away from Weiss. This skips all the way down the ice. It will come up short of icing here as Cam Knight is the first back to it with 80 seconds remaining in the first period at the KYC. Cam Knight through the middle of the ice, hits Reisinger. He'll take it to the right wing wall. Reisinger towards the front of the net there, jabbed away as Falconer was waiting for it. Rather Apap. Apap near side half wall, trying to dig it free. Cook was able to hold his own momentarily as Bolio and Apap can't combine to keep this one in possession. Bell off the glass, kicked along nicely there by Cam Knight, but he wasn't able to hold his own. Now it could be a 2-on-1. Here is Wendling. He'll take it wide. Drop pass here, there, and it was intercepted, read beautifully by Bolio. As stepping forward, here's Reisinger. Wildcats have numbers. Here's Bolio, loading shot, saved there. Puck is loose, and it's picked up and moved away from danger here by Bennett. Bennett up ahead to Wendling in the last minute of play in the period, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. 33 seconds remaining as Chernyuk plays this one along for Townsend. Townsend, nice little move there. He was under pressure as Chernyuk moves his back along for Apap on the far side. Skittered away from Tommy's blade there as this is Weiss playing in deep. Chernyuk first to it there on the far side. He'll bump it forward. In the neutral zone, it skipped over the stick of Max Reisinger. Played in deep. Chernyuk back into his own defensive corner in the last 10 seconds as Sherazin looks to start the breakout. Was just able to get it out of the zone. 5 seconds remaining. Farmer onside play. Here is Sherazin. No, it's an offside play as Yeager took a hit for his trouble out of that one with 2.2 seconds remaining in the first period. So, for all intents and purposes, that will do it in the opening 20. We'll have an obligatory face-off in front of the Rio Grande Valley bench. Neither team has really generated a whole heck of a lot in the way of grade A offense, and none of it has really been sustained either, and neither team able to get good shifts in the offensive zone. Off the face-off, it's hammered towards the cage of Schmidt. He'll steer it wide, and that'll get us the horn. So, 20 minutes are in the books here from the Kay Yeager Coliseum, and it was a scoreless 20 minutes here in Wichita Falls. Shots on goal, 12 for the Wildcats, 7 for Rio Grande Valley, but they're all tied up where it matters, 0-0 on the big board. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the intermission report. We'll take a look at what's going on around the league and the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report, and of course, we'll hear from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine from earlier in the day. All that and more coming your way on the other side of the break here as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Scoreless through 20 minutes of play here at the KYC on a Friday evening in Wichita Falls. Bit of an unseasonably warm Friday, even by Texas standards, as that might have an adverse effect on the ice conditions as this game wears on. Might get a little slushy, a little choppy. We'll have to keep an eye on that one either way. We are scoreless through the first period of play, and it must be said that there was a little bit of intensity lacking in that first period. It seemed like both teams were kind of stuck in first gear, were never able to really get up to a high intensity that we might expect from the Wildcats, and indeed from a Rio Grande Valley squad that has won 3 of their last 4 and are starting to turn things around, starting to get the personnel in place that they need to really solidify their spot in the playoff picture for currently in 6th, 2 points ahead of Amarillo heading into tonight's action. I had a chance to speak with Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine before the game, as I usually do. I'm lucky enough that Coach LaFontaine is always ready and willing not only to talk hockey, but share his thoughts on the games that were and the games that will coming up over the next few days. And Coach LaFontaine and I had a chance to chat, and that really stood out to me was the fact that he wanted his team really come out with a good first period push. He talks about jump. He says he talks about liking the jump or not liking the jump. Well, I'd be interested to be a fly on the wall in the locker room after that 20 minutes, because although the Wildcats aren't behind, there wasn't really a whole lot of jump per se in that period, although now we will hear Coach LaFontaine's interview in his entirety earlier today. As always, is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine. Wildcats open a 2-game set against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees here at the K. Yeager Coliseum as their season-long 8-game homestand rolls on. John, will start with last weekend. A quick look back. It was a split against Topeka after that 7-4 win on Friday. A hard-fought loss 3-2 on Saturday night. In a well-played game. What was your general takeaway from that weekend? What lessons were learned from those 2 games against Topeka?
Well, Ben, I think the biggest thing was that we played a team that not only challenged us, they were better than us in some areas of the game. They were better in their tight gap and their defensive play than we were, and it exposed some areas that we needed to get better at if we want to be at their caliber and better. I mean, our goal is to develop better than them. Our goal is, okay, here's where we are at the beginning of the year. Now, by the end of the year, it's a race. Let's be better than them. And it was good for us as far as that standpoint. It kind of left a sour taste in our mouths Saturday, even though I think we played probably better Saturday than Friday. We still didn't play in certain areas of the ice like we're used to playing. It was good for us because our game has started to slip a little bit. That intensity that you need to play defense and the commitment that you need to play the game with at this level, and the commitment that we need to practice with. So it was a good thing, but it was hard to take. How's that?
Did you see a good response? Did you like the way your players responded in practice this week and in the run-up to this weekend against Rio Grande Valley?
Yes, our guys to a man Saturday night left it on the ice. They worked hard and played hard, and you could tell after a game they were distraught and they were mad. It wasn't like, oh, who cares? They cared. The level of commitment by these guys and the sincerity that they play as a team, they don't like to lose. They're a tough group of guys, and so it made for a good week of practice.
To the games at hand as the Wildcats open jersey off our back weekend to benefit Children's Miracle Network against the Killer Bees, a team that the Wildcats have had some good success against, at least if you look at the overall record. But delving deeper into the numbers, John, you know that those games were not easy performances for the Wildcats, forced to come back in 2 of their 3 wins against the Killer Bees this year. What can we expect this weekend?
Yeah, they play everybody tough. They don't really get blown out. They skate hard. They defend really well, and they use their speed effectively. They're a good hockey team, Ben, and I know when we played them early, we were a little surprised that they didn't have more wins. They gave us everything they could, and then some. We had to come back in some games at home, and then we went there us, and barely squeaked through the first night and got a win, got a late third period win, and then the next night might have played one of our better games of the year. Called, but our guys were really playing strong defensively, and we since then really where shut down the other team. They only had 12 shots, I believe, almost done with the second period. So we need to play that with that type of intensity, and that was what our focus was. And hoping that our guys respect them and come out and realize that if we don't, they can easily steal one from us.
This is a Rio Grande Valley team that is towards the bottom in terms of shots on goal per game, averaging 25.5, which is 22nd out of 24 teams. John, you've talked in the past about trying to shore that things up on the defensive end, limiting opponents' shot opportunities. Is this weekend a chance for your team to get back to basics, so to speak?
For sure, and that's our renewed goal setting. We try to take 5-game segments, Ben. We're starting a new one. And our goal is to keep the team under 25, and that's a realistic goal, but also a goal that if you do that effectively, you're going to have some success. And so naturally, when you're playing a team that doesn't generate as much shots, hopefully we can keep them under that. Hopefully it's closer to 20 shots for the end of the game. And the key is really protecting the middle of the ice and limiting them quality of shots. If all their shots are perimeter and shots from the boards, they can have 40 of those as long as they don't get anything close or alone with the goaltenders. We're really boxing out well. That's our goal, and they do have speed and they do have some offensive ability. I think they've played a pretty road laden schedule, anyways.
Rio Grande Valley 5-11-3 away from home. They are 8-6-2 in games as the home team, so a little bit better at home than they are on the road for Rio Grande Valley. And they've also had some trouble over the last 12 or so away games. Not the best mark for Rio Grande Valley, but we'll see what they have in store for the Wildcats this weekend. John, thanks so much for your time. We'll step back in just a minute with the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue. Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine talking about the defense there and wanting to see better defensive zone play. And while the Wildcats offensively didn't get a whole lot going on in that first period, you can say, aside from the one chance that was generated about halfway through the first, which was the first real grade A look and what also was the first shot on goal for Rio Grande Valley, where I believe it was Balsamo stepping down the middle, and he had a good little look on Austin Shaw, but Shaw was able to blocker it away and force it to the corner. But aside from that, most of the shots have been from the outside, and that's exactly what Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine said that he was hoping to see was if they're going to give up a whole lot of shots, and they only gave up 7 in that first 20, if they're going to give up a lot of shots, they can stomach it, can the Wildcats, if they're coming from outside the circles, as long as they're not coming from what has become colloquially known as the home plate area, which is from the face-off circles inward, from the top of the face-off dots down. So basically draw a pentagon down from the top of the face-off circles down to the goal line, and that is exactly what they're talking about there on those high-quality looks and the good scoring areas that hold home plate, calling it. So we're scoreless here, as for the offensive side of things, the Wildcats weren't able to get too many good looks on Nick Schmidt, maybe one half chance, but Schmidt wasn't really called into action too much earlier on in this contest. We'll see if he's tested at all later on. He has made 12 saves on 12 shots faced. Let's take a look at what else is going on around the North American Hockey League. A couple of important ones to watch here tonight. Most notably for the Wildcats, it's another battle at the top of the South Division to keep an eye on tonight. And Topeka playing host to the Lone Star Brahmas. And how about this? Lone Star, a team that has not had to go on the road too much, and of late, I should say, for the Brahmas. They'll have to go on the road just as much as every other team. Either way, Lone Star leading 2-1 over the Topeka Roadrunners. They're through 20 minutes there. We'll keep an eye on that one. Second week in a row that Topeka has been involved in a 1 versus 2 matchup. Home team has won all 4 games between Lone Star and Topeka this year. Elsewhere, we'll come back to the South Division in just a second. In Pennsylvania, it is 2-1. Keystone Ice Miners leading the Johnstown Tomahawks. This is the front end of a home and home. Keystone 5-1-0 in their last 6 games after enduring a pretty rough stretch that also included the rough news that their team will be folding at the end of the year, but they got nothing to play for aside from some pride and maybe a championship this year. They are 5-1-0 in their last 6 and leading 2-1 after they took a win over the Tomahawks in Johnstown last Friday, 4-3 in a shootout. The lone out of division matchup this weekend, Cooley Region hosting the Austin Bruins. Both teams on a little bit of a 3-game losing streak here, but Cooley Region is 5-1-0 against the Austin Bruins this year. Bruins up 1-0 with 20 minutes in the books. In Janesville, the Jets are up 2-1 on the Sioux Eagles. Sioux have not played in a little bit here. They had last weekend off. They've won 5 of their last 7 games, but that pales in comparison to Janesville, who have won 12 of their last 13 and lead by a goal through 20 minutes of action. In Springfield, the Junior Blues up 1-0 on a Michigan Warriors squad who have lost 9 straight and have scored just 7 goals in their last 5 games. We'll keep an eye on that one, but Springfield up 1-0. In the Battle of Minnesota, the Wilderness hosting the Magicians tonight. Front end of a home and home as well in that one. 1-0. The Wilderness holding a slight edge through 20 minutes of play. Later on tonight, Kenai River finally home after an abysmal 13-game road trip. They'll host the Fairbanks Ice Dogs. Ice Dogs swept Kenai River in Fairbanks last weekend by a combined score of 11-1 over those 2 games. In Montana, Bismarck leading 2-1 over the Brookings Blizzard there. I should say in North Dakota, that is. 2-1, the Bobcats over the Blizzard right now, just about at the end of the first period there. In Aberdeen, 2-0, the Wings leading the Minot Minotauros. They're through 20 minutes there as well. Elsewhere around the South Division, it is scoreless between the Bulls and the Jackalopes through 20 minutes of action there. Later on this evening, Corpus Christi is still searching for its first road win of the season. They are in Wenatchee to take on the Wild. That one gets going at 9:05 Central Time. That'll do it for us on the the Jerry Sporting Goods Out of Town scoreboard, and that'll do it for us on the intermission report. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the second period of action between the Killer Bees and your Wildcats, as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back at the K. Yeager Coliseum, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as we're set for period 2 between your Wildcats and the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Two teams skating 5-on-5 to start out this period. As the Wildcats have 12 shots on goal to their credit. Grand Valley has 7, no guys in the penalty boxes. Austin Shaw in the cage to our left, Nick Schmidt in the cage to our right. Down in the second period, we're underway. Brought to you by American Classified as off the draw. This is controlled by Cam Knight. Back in his own zone, along for Matt Cook. Flown back to the near side. Here is Eric Yeager. He'll lob this one in deep. Going in after it there, Weiss and Farmer. They'll tangle up. Jab to the corner by Sherazin, but nobody there to corral. Picked up by Rio Grande Valley. Punched forward there by Cam Knight. This is touched up here by Bell, so no hand pass as we'll move on. Knight not able to hold the zone. Yeager trying to do just that on the half wall. Instead, it works its way along for Lorraine to play behind the cage of Schmidt. Held in momentarily by the Wildcats on the far side. That's Sherazin jabbing at it. Instead, squirts loose for Yeager to play back to the near side for Farmer. Farmer blockered away there by Schmidt. That one pops away to the far side wall. Yeager and Sherazin trying to dig this one loose on the far side. Held in here and spiked towards the cage and scooped up off the bounce by Nick Schmidt. And we'll get a whistle. 19:08 remaining in the second period as the Wildcats are scoreless with the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. The Wildcats will get you some situationals here. When tied after one period of play, Rio Grande Valley 6-9-1. The Wildcats, when tied after one period of play, are 8-4-0. Although they did just lose on Saturday in that same situation. Face-off is to the right of Schmidt. It was Staub going against Croston. Croston waved out, so Staub will go against Dallas G-Rads. Staub won it cleanly back. Cherniak hard back to the point. Townsend towards the net and saved there by Schmidt. As hoping for a deflection in front was Lazarus. Couldn't get a stick to it. 19:03 remaining in the second period. Wildcats will have an offensive zone draw coming to the right of Nick Schmidt. Save number 14 contest. Take the draw. This one he wasn't able to win back to the point, so this is hacked at. Cherniak can't glove this one down. Now we'll have to hustle back. Could be numbers here for Rio Grande Valley, but Shaw will step away from his cage and sweep it from danger. Townsend jabbing this one forward was Colin Staub from the stick of Lazarus. Albrecht getting back on side, but the Wildcats are going to have to tag up on a delay. Staub didn't hear it, so he'll go in and we'll get the whistle. 18:44 remaining in the second period. Wildcats will have to deal with a neutral zone faceoff coming. We've played 1:16 in this second period. Wildcats are looking to get the offense going here. The second period has been the big one for Wichita Falls this season. Outscoring opponents 56-30 in the second stanza on the year, and 34, this being game number 35, games played. Off, squirts loose. Here's Kosmeski. He'll chip it towards the corner, tries to get in after it there, swung towards the net, behind the cage at Skinner's. Reisinger tries to roll Bennett off it, wasn't able to get him off the puck. Stepping forward here was Connor Wood, trying to get around Jeff Baum. First back to it is Apap. He's tied up awkwardly there. Back below the goal line was Wendling. Hooked right out in front. Shaw, point blank save. Puck is loose and it's cleared away from danger. Now it's Boyle looking to motor forward and get around Weiss. Here is Boyle. He'll put on the brakes, waits for reinforcements. Fed for Apap. Apap struggles with it. Got it to Reisinger. Couldn't hook it out in front. Tapped towards the middle there and spiked away to the back glass. Reisinger tries to jab it free. Lost it in the skates of Austin Bolio and wasn't able to corral as this is picked up by Bennett. Zach Bennett chips it past Baum and goes in after it as Shaw will step away from his cage there. Served it along the kick plate, hoping for Apap far side, who worked it free as Subri is fresh from the bench. Here is Subri. He'll chip it towards the corner and go in after it as the Wildcats will finish up their change here. Reefy rims it around the boards. Escaped the reach of a teammate there as Cook sent this one back in deep. This is going to go for icing here. I thought Knight, or rather Subri, might have gotten a stick to it coming back out of the zone, but an icing is whistled. 17:40 remaining in the second period. Reminder, fans, that tomorrow night's contest starts at 5 p.m., so we'll start the pregame for you at 4:50 here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Off to the left of Shaw. That, of course, to accommodate the jersey auction immediately following the game to benefit Children's Miracle Network. Off the faceoff, it was under a Killer Bee skater, dug free by Cam Knight. And it was back below the goal line and looks to outlet here. Off the skate of Falconer. This is picked up by Litviak and jab forward. Litviak's pass to nobody in particular here. Find myself saying that a whole lot as this is Deprez looking to motor his way around. Knight, he's thrown down hard to the ditch. Nice shoulder check there by Cam Knight. Towards the net, wide of the cage, sticked off of the body of G-Rads there, awkwardly down to the ice, goes, I believe that was Cam Knight. He's back to his feet, none the worse for the wear, as Matt Cook plays this one off the glass. Escapes the reach of a man. Litviak hustling after it as Schmidt leaves it there, hoping for Weiss. Weiss tied up. Litviak trying to dig it free. Here is Subri on his backhand, now pressed into the wall is Paul Subri and worked over by Dean Balsamo. Chernyuk waiting in the slot for it. It's not there. Rather, that's Falconer with Chernyuk up at the blue line. Now it's Subri. He'll send it back below the goal line. First to it here. And it's picked up by Van Tile, who got it along for Jack Weiss. Weiss chips this one forward. It will go for icing if it reaches here, as Cook will hustle back and get there. 16:31 remaining in the second period. 0-0 the score as we continue to play a cagey back and forth contest here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. The Wildcats league leading offense, 4.35 goals per game, has not been able to get going quite yet here at the KYC on a Friday evening in January. Take the draw to the right of Schmidt. It's one back to the point. Here is Chernyuk. Played softly towards the net. A couple of sticks in front. That was Yeager and Farmer. Neither could get a blade to it. Puck is loose, and now it's kicked into the neutral zone as Chernyuk works this one along for Sherazin. Swatted at just at the blue line. Schmidt will step from his crease to play this one here. It's off towards the far side. Now it's Sherazin up to the blue line. Not sure where he was going with that. He gave it right to Rio Grande Valley. As, a big collision there is going to draw a penalty as Schofield took a shot up high, and we'll get the whistle here. And Townsend is going to be the one to go. Will it be 2 or a 5? Should only be 2, as it was kind of a glancing blow. So Townsend will skate over to the box as he caught Schofield up high. Either Schofield or Connor Wood. Head contact is the call. And to the power play for the second time tonight will be Rio Grande Valley. 2 minutes for contact to the head. The Wildcats 1 for 1 on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill thus far tonight. They'll have to deal with number 2. Rio Grande Valley, who are 20 for 143 on the power play. Back, here's Bell, walking to the middle of the blue line, holds on a slap shot. Now it's Parker Wood, his shot, in and out of the glove, skipping puck there. Wood tries to settle, it's lost in his feet. He'll take it towards the corner, can't go up the wall with it, spinning away into some space. Looks to get towards the front of the net. It's served back down low to him. Here is Wood, let it run here, as Zumalides will serve it up to the blue line. It's Bell, here's a one-timer, flubbing it there. I believe that was Abbott, as he didn't get all of this one. Now it's Stobbs skating short-handed as Farmer in front there. And it just deflected off of Bell, and alert to it there was Schmidt. Intercepted here by Farmer. Wasn't able to walk in as he was enveloped by a couple of Rio Grande Valley skaters, as this is left behind the net of Schmidt to be picked up here by Abbott. Now it's Lorraine. Now it's Wood. Sidestepped a big hit, but lost the puck as trying to pick this one up and send it all the way down was Yeager. He has to reverse back for Matt Cook, and Cook will do the dirty work and clear all the way down as the kill is halfway done for the Wildcats. Van Tile shakes it away from a forechecking Paul Subri. First to this one here, looking to come up the ice, was Abbott. Abbott off to the right wing side as Rio Grande Valley will gain the zone. Behind the cage of Austin Shaw, it's Skitters. Kosmeski wasn't able to reach this one here as Balsamo tries to dig this one free. Bomb out there on the PK. Hard up to the point. Intercepted. Glove down here and played softly forward. Now it's 2-on-1. Here's Kosmeski with Yeager short-handed. His shot saved. Puck is loose. They jammed for it. It went wide. Kosmeski trying to walk in front. Couldn't hack away at it, and it's cleared all the way. Now it's Baum, short-handed, rather Jeff Baum, I should say. He'll swivel and send this one in deep. Kosmeski, a fast skater, one of the fastest on the Wildcats, showing his speed there. Just wasn't able to get it in front for Yeager to tap home. This is Weiss skating it in. He left it behind for Balsamo. Balsamo skates to the corner and will curl all the way around. Here's Balsamo off to the right wing wall. Far side, here's Balsamo, has his pocket picked by Bolio. Bolio looks to start forward. In the last 3 seconds, we are back to 5-on-5 play as Townsend is out of the box. Turned over here, Apap hooked towards the middle there, and it's jabbed away by an alert stick of Jack Weiss. G-Rads stumbles in the neutral zone. That frees up the puck. Apap wanted it. He'll get it. Here's Apap. Reisinger with him. Here's Reisinger at the circle. His shot saved and covered by Schmidt. 13:42 remaining in the second period. Reisinger with a good look there for Wichita Falls from just inside the right wing face-off circle of the Cats. But Nick Schmidt equal to the task, and the Wildcats have only really generated chances in transition thus far. They have not been able to get any sustained pressure in the offensive zone. In fact, both teams have really been trading possession back and forth tonight. Stop, back to the point. Townsend will play it down the wall and let a couple of guys go pursue. Tile knife this one away from an on-rushing Albrecht, as this is Zumalitis looking to start it forward. Just outside the blue line, he'll play this one in deep. Cherniak rolls this one around. It's picked up here nicely by Staub. Staub left it behind as Rio Grande Valley was able to hold the zone. Below the goal line, it squirts. Townsend hard off to the far side wall once more, as this is Albrecht. Has Lazarus and Staub in front of him. Now Albrecht will skate through the middle. Albrecht with a nice move, and now he'll gain the zone. Here's Albrecht. Quick shot, blocked there. Puck loose. Albrecht hooked off it. No call-up coming here as he and Lazarus go to get it in the far side corner. Lazarus walled off it there, waiting for reinforcements to come. They did come in the form of Albrecht, and Staub now below the goal line. It's a wraparound chance there and a save. It was Albrecht who was trying a sneaky little move, as Schmidt was expecting pass, but he was able to seal off that left-hand post, and that'll draw another whistle. 12:55 remaining in the second period as the Wildcats and Killer Bees are still playing out scoreless, which is a pretty good testament to the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees' defensive desire in their own zone. They aren't losing too many battles for that loose puck. Farmer can't win this one. Now he does on a second time to bomb. Now Kosmeski, his shot. He played it wide of the cage with a man collapsing down in front of him. Held in down low nicely by Farmer. He'll kick it along. Looks to play it out in front. Couldn't dig it free as Weiss is in there and tries to work it free. Sharazin keeps the forecheck rolling. Off to the near side it comes. Bomb looks to chip this one towards the front of the net. Skittering around there. Penalty upcoming, and it's going to be against Rio Grande Valley. Towards the front of the net. Farmer shakes it back to Kosmeski. Towards the net. Save. Puck loose. Oh, and Schmidt with a glove save. Yeager skated in. Extra attacker was on a delayed penalty. A shot from the blue line was kicked out into a juicy area, and Yeager was robbed on the glove hand of Nick Schmidt. First real tough save he's had to make tonight. Skating over to the box was quick. The Wildcats head to the power play for the first time this evening. Faceoff will be to the right of Schmidt here. The Wildcats power play 25% even. That is second in the North American Hockey League. 34 for 136 are the raw numbers, although they did come up empty in both games last weekend, or rather they did have a power play goal last Saturday, I should say, as rushing this one along and playing it softly and deep was Van Tile. Back to collect and starting to swoop up the ice here is Cook. Cook waiting for a pass to develop here, cuts off to the left-hand side and gave it along for Farmer. Farmer and now Cook as the Wildcats try to gain the zone. Cook will just rim this hard around the boards. First to it here on the near side, trying to dig it free, but not able to do so is Zumalitis, now starting a rush 2-on-1 shorthanded. Here's Zumalitis, play it across there, and he handcuffed Croston with the shot, as now Croston is ridden into the wall there nicely by Matt Cook. Trying to dig it loose are the Wildcats. They did just that. Bomb with a nice little tap pass to return to Cook, and they'll look to start up the ice once more. Slowly and deliberately walking out of his zone, and I do mean walking, as he'll finally give it off to the near side. Sharazin jabbed at it, couldn't get the puck all the way down low. He'll dig it loose as it squirts its way back to Matt Cook. 11:25 remaining in the second period, a minute remaining on the Wildcats power play as Cook waiting for the Cats to finish up the change. Not a whole lot of urgency on this power play quite yet, as now Cook starts to move it forward. At the red line, he'll chip it in deep. First to it here is Staub. Swatted around the boards. First to it on the near side, it's Cam Knight, but we're going to get too many men on the ice against the Wildcats. Cam Knight a little quick to get involved in the play, as stepping off the ice was Matt Cook. So I think that will cancel things out unless it's an offside. I thought it was a too many men on the ice. It is a too many men on the ice call. So after all of that, in one of the most deliberate line changes we've seen all year, the Wildcats take a too many men on the ice call. Just a bit of a sleepy game here right now from the Wildcats. 11:11 remaining in the second period. will skate 4-on-4 for the next 45 seconds. Then the Wildcats will be shorthanded on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill, and just wondering when the Wildcats might wake up and kick it out of first gear. Matt Cook spent a good 10-15 seconds at least standing in his own zone waiting for the Wildcats to change, and at the end of it all, they botched the change and took a too many men on the ice call. Here is Bell, faked on a slapper, now towards the net, puck loose there, as in front, hoping for it, was a man Schofield. Kicked away there, and it's worked onto the stick of Falconer, who plays it out, but couldn't find Subri with the pass. Here is Bell in his own zone. Bell will look to start this one forward. Directed wide of the cage by Shaw. Subri touches this one along, hoping for a teammate. It's sent right back down low by Balsamo. Townsend sidesteps a big crunch there and floats it into some space cross ice. As skating onto this one is Shane Kosmeski. Here is Kosmeski at the left wing side. He'll gain the zone and go into the corner. Kosmeski will be short. The Wildcats will be short-handed in 3 seconds here. As starting the rush up the ice, here is Abbott. Out of the box is Click. Power play on for Rio Grande Valley. Balsamo towards the net. Shaw knocked it away. Abbott sent it loose behind the cage. Subri there. Having some trouble with it was Townsend. He'll hammer it back around to the near side. Lorraine spikes it down low, wheeling in front. Here's Wood's shot, and that hit the bar. Shaw saw it late, but the Wildcats escaped the danger as that rang off the iron. Cleared all the way down. 10-minute mark of the second period. We are halfway through this contest as the Wildcats are on their third penalty kill of the night, brought to you by Gilmore's Collision Center. Abbott walks his way through the middle. Shaw with the save, and he'll cover up here, as Townsend was a little slow to get over there to try and clear. 9:50 remaining in the second period. Wildcats are still battling scoreless here with the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Faceoff will be to the left of Austin Shaw. Looking to win the draw for the Wildcats is Colin Staub going against Anthony Croston. Now Croston will be washed out here. Stepping in will be Dallas G-Rats. And now G-Rats stepping out, so it'll be Wisely stepping in on the face-off. Face-off, one back here by Rio. Bell holding a shot, blocked in front. Puck is loose. It's still loose, and it's swept away from danger. Only as far as Van Tile at the blue line. Off to the near side wall. Here is Wisely. Looks to shake it off to Evan Bell at the right point. Bell, now Van Tile, just inside the blue line to the near side half wall, but cleared all the way down by Cam Knight after it ticked off the stick of Austin Wisely at the half wall. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Wildcats, being served by Austin Bolio as Bell plays this one off for Van Tile. Served behind the net of Austin Shaw. Matt Cook, the first to it here, under some pressure here. It's picked up by Cam Knight. He'll look to send this one all the way down the ice for Austin Bolio to start things in transition. Farmer lost it in his feet. Drop pass. Here's Bolio in front. Shot and deflected just wide from Tommy Apap. Apap picks up the loose disc. Fed towards the middle there, and Bolio couldn't get a stick to it as he was handcuffed. Bolio picks up the loose disc. Left it there, hoping for Apap. Apap battling there with Crosson, trying to dig it free as Apap spinning away. Still can't work the puck loose. Bolio getting involved. Apap pulled it free. Here's Reisinger holding a shot blocked in front there. Reisinger kicked at it to try to keep the forecheck working here. Instead, Cam Knight has to pursue back into his own zone. Quickly along for Matt Cook. Now it's Reisinger, left behind but brought in. Reisinger drop pass to nobody, and it's cleared out. Matt Cook jabbing at it there was Chernyuk, but again, either it's going to be offside or we're going to get another too many men on the ice against the Wildcats. 8:26 remaining in the second period. Scoreless here from the K. Yeager Coliseum as shots on goal in the game are 19-10 in favor of the Wildcats and are 7-3 in favor of the Cats in the second period. We've seen now for the last 3 games this unit of Bolio, Reisinger, and Apap, although it's actually been more like the last 5 or 6 games for the Wildcats, and it just seems like they're not clicking right now. You saw it just a moment ago. Reisinger looked to hook a pass back to nobody. Line passes have got to stop for the Wildcats. You can get away with it against a team like Odessa, a team like Amarillo, and to a lesser extent, at least for the time being, a team like the Killer Bees. But we saw it time and time and again, the Wildcats getting burned over and over again on plays like that, just being careless and not paying attention to where the puck is, where the teammates are. That burned them against Topeka over the last few weeks in their head-to-head meetings. Clean that up, as this has, as I mentioned, been a good opportunity for the Wildcats to clear up their defensive zone play. Puck is loose, hooked along here. It's Subri. Now it's worked along for Falconer as Subri couldn't get a pass away. Now trying to start it forward are the Killer Bees. Connor Wood hustling in there. Chernyuk will beat him back to it, and that will draw the icing, or either the icing or an offside. 18-10 remaining in the second. Icing is the whistle. So we will get an offensive zone draw coming for the Wildcats to the left of Nick Schmidt. And what has been a game that has yet to really hit its full stride. Wildcats doing well in the defensive zone to limit the shots, at least for the time being. A little bit more to possess in the offensive zone. Townsend wheels it towards the middle, thrown towards the net. Wendling shrugged it down and looks to start it forward. Here is Bennett, has it poked away from him. Connor Wood picks this one up and sweeps it in deep as Shaw will help this one along. Chernyuk skates onto this one, hooked in front there, nobody there. Skitter off the stick of Falconer, who wasn't expecting it, as Rio will recorral. At his own blue line, it's Chernyuk, clears, but Connor Wood gets a skate in the way. Subri tries to force this one out, wasn't able to do so, as it's served down low below the goal line. First to it here is Jake Townsend. He'll look to step out from behind the cage of Shaw. Left it along there for Falconer. Headman pass through the middle. Litviak looking to corral. He'll have to go to the corner for it. Here's Litviak now trying to protect and wait for some reinforcements as Abbott gets involved and a two-side battle ensues. Litviak to the middle of the blue line. Held in nicely by Kosmeski, but as he switched to his forehand, he took it over the blue line, and the Cats have to clear. 7:15 remaining in a scoreless second period. Here is Dallas Girods now trying to get past Staub. Not able to do so. Nice back check there by the responsible forward, Colin Staub. Staub fights through the check. He'll look to fling this one up ahead. Nice move there by Albrecht. Could be a 2-on-1. Albrecht jabs at it there. He was hoping to hit Lazarus sweeping down the middle, but he just couldn't get it to him. Croston looks to step forward now, trying to get his way around Kosmeski. Nice stick there by Shane. Lazarus loses an edge, so he couldn't turn it back up ice as it's on the stick of Austin Shaw. Albrecht waiting for it, wanting a home run pass. This one off the stick of Weiss, off the skate of the linesman, caroming around, and it's flown back in deep, and will be an icing here against Rio Grande Valley. 6:35 remaining in the second period, and I guess the best thing as we skate scoreless here in the second, the best thing that you can say about this contest, or the most accurate thing you can say about this contest, is neither team has really been able to possess it too cleanly tonight. A lot of knocking the puck back and forth through the neutral zone. Really seen either team string together 4, 5, 6 passes in a row. Cook walks it back. Puck is loose in front there and swatted away. Cook held on it momentarily. Now it's a 3-on-1 potentially for Rio Grande Valley. Crashing the net. Lorraine shot saved and held there by Shaw. With the effort was Parker Wood from the right wing circle. Shaw made the save as Cook and Knight were hustling to get back into the play on the back check there. 6:22 remaining in the second. Shaw with another strong save. He'll have to deal with the faceoff to his left as his reward. Off the faceoff. This is Abbott. Abbott. His effort forced to the glass. Swatted around the boards. First to it here is Van Tile. Wheeling towards the middle. Shot save. They score. It was tipped in front. Shaw made the initial save, but the rebound was put home, and Rio Grande Valley takes a 1-0 lead. So now we'll see, can the Wildcats find a gear that they have not even looked close to hitting all night? Lethargic as the word to describe their play thus far. As off the faceoff, this is Jake Townsend back into his own zone. Let's see if that goal puts a charge into the Wildcats. As skating forward, here's Austin Bolio. Bolio has a man behind him. He'll put on the brakes. Drop pass. Chernyuk slap shot deflected just wide. Now it's along for Townsend. Held in nicely. Apap rounding his shot, looking for the top corner. And that one goes high for the glass. Nice job here by Apap and Bolio to hold the zone. Bolio digging forward here. Tries to work it along for Reisinger. Still held, but now it's onto the stick of Schofield, as Schofield will play this one down. Intercepted here. Bolio forced it back. Apap going up the ice with it at the left wing circle. His little shot easily forced aside there as this is Balsamo turning it over. Reisinger up to the blue line. Kosmeski jabbing at this one as now he's trying to fight off a hold here. 2-on-1 for Rio Grande Valley. Walking in, sticked away there, and getting a stick in the way was Townsend as a man in front was Schofield, and the pass never arrived. This is on the stick of Falconer. He'll take it to the outside now. Falconer puts on the brakes at the half wall, spun towards the net, and Schmidt sticks this one away. Now it's Litviak looking to go towards the top of the zone. Bomb settles towards the net, blocked in front. Litviak loading, holding, shot, floated it well wide of the cage. Falconer on the far side gets involved with G-Rads. It's on the stick of Falconer once more. It's up to the point. Kosmeski loads, shot, deflected in front. Bodies tumble all over the place, and it's picked up by Abbott for Rio Grande Valley. He gains the red line and plays this one in deep. First to it here are the Wildcats as Kosmeski rattled this one along for Baum. Baum, his pass off the boards is taken by nobody, and it's played back behind the net. Kosmeski, he'll jab at this one here. Picked up by Litviak. Litviak along for Falconer at the red line. Falconer rubbed off it in front of the Wildcats bench area as this is chopped down by Baum just outside his own blue line. He'll give it back to Shane Kosmeski, who works it up the ice for Albrecht. Albrecht looking to settle and walk into some space. Now he'll turn up the ice. Albrecht gains his zone, walking down the middle. His shot saved and sticked away there by Schmidt. Staub on it there in the far side corner. Albrecht behind the net. He'll take it from Lazarus. Digging for it there was Albrecht. Wasn't able to get this one as it served up to the point where Knight reverses down low. This is Colin Staub. Rather Lazarus on his backhand. Shot saved by Schmidt, and he'll hold on. 3:54 remaining in the second. The Wildcats now trailing 1-0. The goal is given to Parker Wood in front. So for Wood, that is goal number 11 on the year, giving him 25 points. Van Tile had walked to the middle, and his shot was saved by Shaw, but Wood was able to swat home the rebound. And that's where we stand. Staub not able to win this face-off. Van Tile rattled hard around the boards. Cook got himself in front there, but Parker Wood will glass this one down. Now he's trying to step free there was Zumalitis. He just wasn't able to corral it as Staub got back to help out. A funky couple of caroms there. It squirts loose behind the cage. Cam Knight wasn't able to clear it up the ice. Quick slap shot, deflected just wide. Albrecht wasn't able to get to that puck first. Lost his stick in the process. Staub down below the goal line. Swept away from him, but coming along to help out, this is Matt Cook trying to dig it free. Puck is loose in the face-off circle. Chopped there by Lorraine. He'll settle and come back for the puck on the near side. It's up the wall. Abbott along for a Demarifi. Arifi shot. He played it deliberately wide of the cage. That one pops high up into the air. Rio Grande Valley starting to buzz a little bit here. Here is Abbott on his forehand to Demarifi. Holding a shot. He'll play it softly behind the net. First to it there was Lorraine. Tapped away from G-Rads now as trying to dig this one loose was Lazarus, and he got it up ahead for Albrecht. Here's Albrecht, drop for Lazarus, back for Albrecht who was hooked off it, puck loose behind the net as trying to dig it free are Staub and Albrecht. Staub with it below the goal line. Can't stash it out in front now as this is picked up by Lazarus. Lazarus trying to pick out a pass. He'll look to go up to the point with it as the Wildcats are in the midst of a change. Lazarus tries to go down low with it, and on a second attempt he'll do just that. Subri in on the forecheck here. Left behind the cage. Croston will take it away from Subri as this is picked up by Croston and skated forward. Croston was able to gain the zone. Chernyuk clears, but not past G-Rads, who gloved this one down. 2:15 remaining in the second period as the Wildcats are not able to get anything going on offense right now. Subri, headman pass. Here is Yeager with a man in the middle. That was Farmer. The pass never reached him. Puck is loose. One-hand effort. They jab for it. Yeager can't find it. Swats to the corner. Townsend not able to hold the zone. Here is Balsamo, rather G-Rads. He'll chip this one past Chernyuk and go to the bench for a change. Chernyuk. Hard back to the near side. Yeager stood on the puck there, but he was able to right himself and clear the zone. This is Bell. Up the ice there from Quick. No icing here. First to it will be Stathis Zumalitis. He'll wait for some pressure. Look to absorb it here as he hopes for some reinforcements. Townsend picks up the loose disc. Worked ahead for Yeager now. Yeager looks to get to the red line. He'll float it cross ice and come to the bench for a change. Last 90 of the second period. The Wildcats trailing 1-0 as they've never really looked like scoring in this contest, to be honest. Skating it forward here is Parker Wood. Wood looks to drop there for Sumalides. Now we'll get it back. Wood looking for a passing lane now. Tries to roll off APAP in the corner. Rather, that was bombed down low. To the far side at Karams. Picked up here and controlled. Cross ice pass. Parker Wood picks this one up at the left wing circle. Floats it towards the net. That one deflects up and out of play. And we'll get the whistle belatedly. 1 minute dead on remaining in this second period. So the last minute of play brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Wildcats trailing 1-0 as Parker Wood scored at 13:50 of the second period. That is the game's only tally thus far. Someone lost a mouth guard. Wildcat skater. So quick delay while that gets cleaned up. Looks like it was Subris. So either way, face off to the right of Shaw in the last 60 seconds of this first period. And Toyle holding on a shot, wanted one anyway. Trying to pick it up there and race away was Bolio. Instead, it's held in towards the net. Puck loose, and G-Rads wasn't able to chop it free. G-Rads once more walking towards the middle. Wendling rather with a shot, fought off by Shaw, who saw it very late. Below the goal line, it's Wendling once more. Now Connor Wood looks to play up the wall. Now curls towards the middle. Puck is loose, intercepted here, and APAP leads this one forward. His pass was in the skates of Bolio. Wood trying to work over Kuzmeski. Kuzmeski mugs him off the puck. Will play on as Bolio can't kick this one loose. It's below the goal line of Shaw. Baum is the first to it here for Wichita Falls. Fed off to the far side. Wood towards the net. His effort was blocked in front by his own man, Wendling. Now it's Kuzmeski looking to tie up in the last 15 of the period as Rio Grande Valley has looked the better team in this second. This is going to be icing here against the Wildcats with 7.7 seconds remaining in the second period. 1-0 the Wildcats trail, and it's all well and good that you can get up for the big teams coming into your building. The true test, and obviously this goes back to that level of consistency that we talk about from time to time. The big test is whether you can get up for every single game, and the Wildcats, we must say, have really looked pretty lethargic, not able to get out of first gear towards the cage of Shaw off the faceoff, and it's swatted away there as this one is pitchforked forward. That'll do it in the second period, though, as the horn sounds. The Wildcats again out shooting Rio Grande Valley in the period, but they trail 1-0 after Parker Wood has scored his 11th goal to give Rio Grande Valley a 1-0 lead. Certainly not insurmountable, but the Wildcats are going to have to get things going and get on the front foot in a hurry. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll check out the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. We'll revisit highlights from the Wildcats' last outing, and we'll break it all down here on the other side of the break as Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as the Wildcats are trailing 1-0 here on a goal from Parker Wood at 13:50 of that second period. A simple little shot from the blue line after Van Tile had wheeled his way from the left wing half wall all the way up to the middle. His shot was kicked away by Austin Shaw, and the rebound was picked up and swatted home by Parker Wood on a first-time touch. As the Wildcats, for their part, the only real high-quality scoring chance that they had in that period came on a delayed penalty, which, by the way, they canceled out that power play by taking a silly too many men on the ice call. Look, we'll just say it, the Wildcats are not looking their sharpest right now, mentally and in terms of their performance on the ice, as the genesis of that too many men on the ice call was about the most deliberate change on a power play I've ever seen. It took the Wildcats about 15-20 seconds to get the personnel they needed on the ice, and then out of all of that, they weren't able to get the change done cleanly. So that canceled out the power play. Either way, the Wildcats had a good look before that, but Yeager was robbed on the glove hand by Nick Schmidt, who has made 22 saves on 22 shots thus far, as this for the Wildcats to show how they can respond and see whether they can dial it up a notch after really playing well below what we have seen and what we know they are capable of throughout the year. Either way, now is the time of the year where we'll take a look at the most recent game for the Wildcats, as now we'll revisit that game on Saturday, a hard-fought contest against the Roadrunners. We're underway. Wildcats. Lazarus trying to dig this one free. Now it's a 2-on-1 for Topeka. Renneker with a step shot. Fought off there by Shaw. Face off to the right of Austin Shaw coming. Offensive zone penalties were something that burned the Wildcats on Tuesday. They were able to overcome a couple of power play goals that stemmed from offensive zone penalties. But Topeka, a little bit harder to do so. One-timer from Brickley, fought off there by Shaw. Follow up again, holds on it, and we'll look to set things up. Here's Urzowski holding. Now a one-timer. Fernsler scores! Rather Brickley with a ripper from the blue line, and Topeka takes the lead on a power play tally. Tied up below the goal line is Litviak here. Litviak knocked towards the corner. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Cook settles, flips it towards the corner. Settled there below the goal line by Farmer. Farmer wanting a one-timer. Now a shot is fought off on the shoulder by Tomek as it had caromed along for Sherazin. Farmer, high slot shot, goes up against the glass. We are back to 5-on-5. Yeager in front. They score! It's Kevin Sherazin. The Wildcats kept the pressure on after the penalty expired. Sherazin off to Tomek's left, makes it 1-1 on his 19th of the year. Picked up and brought forward by Willie Brown. Brown, shot, steered aside there, rebound. Nobody home on the back door. Blake Dornson had intercepted here by Townsend, who gives this one along for Bolio. Bolio looks to put on the brakes here, looking for a pass. Cross site. It's Chernyuk, rather APAP in stride. APAP has some trouble with it. He'll play it back for Townsend on a release valve play. Pass intercepted. Hikosaka walks forward. High slot. Hikosaka toe drag. Backhand in front. And it skitters just wide as he couldn't corral it back onto his forehand. Down low. Fornars hook towards the middle. Shot scores. It's Strong. Chernyuk wasn't to the puck quick enough. It was hooked towards the middle, and Cam Strong gives the Topeka Roadrunners a 2-1 lead. To the near side, Farmer tries to corral. Walks in front. Farmer, puck is loose. Here's Litviak. He'll chip it up to the point. Cook settles and holds. Litviak in the circle, holding on it. Litviak still back up to the blue line. Here's Matt Cook. Shot towards the net. Puck loose. They score! It's Farmer again in front of the net, and the Wildcats tie it up on a power play tally. Simply sensational in the second period are the Wildcats. They get a power play tally. It's Nick Farmer in front, and it's 2-2. APAP ties up here, waiting for Townsend to sweep it along. Behind the cage, picked up by Bolio. Bolio swings to the top of the zone. Knight. Now it's along for Townsend. Now it's Bolio loading a shot, carrying around, and stops. Shanked it wide, hooked in front, and Bolio sent it wide again. Played towards the middle of the ice. Not by a high stick there by Poland. It's APAP. In front is Bolio. Here's Knight shot, and he sent it high, and the net is off its moorings. Shot kicked away. Rebound is loose. Holding on it. Gornall shot. Save. Rebound. And swept away from Hayes, who was camped out in the circle. It's on the stick of Farmer. Reisinger. Did he glove it down? It's played here by Topeka skater. So if there was a hand pass, it's canceled out. Farmer in on the forecheck here. Ridden off it by Brennan. Picking this one up and playing it up ahead. It's Gornall. Gornall sidestepped the big hit. And another check from Farmer. Gornall gains the zone. Sweep check there by Farmer. Ineffective. Gornall hooked towards the middle. They scored. Oh, 5-hole. A weak little goal by Gornall. And the Wildcats trail 3-2 with 2:34 to go. Collins stop. The extra attacker on. Cats gain the zone. Oh, first to it is Collins stop. Played towards the middle. Puck loose in front. Jaeger shot. It's blocked. They jump for it. No goal. It went in. We're playing on. Here's Jaeger once more to the middle. Sheridan loading shot blocked. 25 seconds remaining. The entire building thought they had scored. Below the goal line with it. Now jabbing towards the front of the net. Here is Jaeger, and we get the whistle as the net is off its moorings. 20 seconds remaining in the third. The Wildcats and the entire crowd thought they had scored. Red light never went on. Tomek never reacted. Cundy, the referee, was right on top of it. Stop, Cook, Farmer, Sheridan, and Knight out there. Face-off is won by the Wildcats. 15 seconds remaining. Cook towards the net. Back door. Sheridan playing in towards the middle. Now up to the top of the zone. Knight holds on it. Shot towards the net. Deflected. They'll jam for it. Where's the puck? It's loose. There's 7 seconds remaining, and Farmer put it up to the glass. He put it out of play, and that went clean out. That was the chance. 5.1 seconds remaining, and as hot as Farmer is, you would back him to at least force a save from Tomek. Instead, he put it out of play, and that sees the faceoff go to the neutral zone, and that will likely be that in the last 5 seconds of the third. Topeka on a late goal. 5-hole of Austin Shaw comes away with a 3-2 win. You heard it there, and obviously in my initial call, I thought the goal had gone in on that chance on the scramble on Saturday night. Obviously it had not, and in fairness to Brody Cundy, the referee, he was perfectly positioned, and I did have a chance to talk to the Wildcat skaters who were involved in all of that, and they said no, it never really went over the line. So fair play to Matej Tomek for his ability to make the save there. The Wildcats did have their chances. They just were not able to capitalize on them in that one on Saturday. Here tonight, it's a different story. They're not even really creating the chances that we have seen from them time and time again throughout the year. This is the highest scoring offense in the North American Hockey League, and right now they are being shut out by a defense that is 19th out of 24 teams in the league. Rio Grande Valley averaging 3.23 goals against per game. The Wildcats averaging 4.35 goals for per game, but Nick Schmidt making it look easy tonight as the Wildcats aren't really peppering him with a whole lot of quality shots. Those 22 that they've put up, maybe 3 or 4 have been from what you could call the scoring areas. Either way, the Wildcats are going to need to ratchet it up a notch in that third period if they want to avoid their second straight loss here at the Ken Yeager Coliseum, and want to avoid doing so to a team that has one win in their last 12 road contests. So we'll take a look at what else is going on around the North American Hockey League at this point. It's the Jerry Sporting Goods Out of Town Scoreboard Report. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. It is 3-0 now. The Coulee Region Chill trailing the Austin Bruins. Austin on the road in Wisconsin this evening, as that is the front end of a home and home in that one. Austin has lost 2 games in a shootout to Minot last weekend. Coulee Region swept for 3 games by the Wilderness last weekend, so Austin trying to right the ship a little bit here as both teams are on a 3-game losing skid. They're going to overtime in Johnstown, all tied up as it is Keystone 3 and Johnstown 3. We'll keep an eye on that one as that one continues on. Janesville up 3-2 now over the Sioux Eagles. They're in the second intermission in that one. 2-0 Wilderness holding the lead over the Minnesota Magicians. 40 minutes are in the books up there in Cloquet, Minnesota. In Springfield, the Junior Blues are leading 3-1 over the Michigan Warriors. They are through 20 minutes, or they have 20 minutes remaining, I should say. While in Bismarck, it is now 2-2, tied up. Bismarck had been leading 2-0. They are ticking their way towards the end of the second period in that one there. And meanwhile, the Aberdeen Wings tied up with the Minot Minotauros 2-2 through 40 minutes of action there. Corpus Christi and Wenatchee are set to get underway in the next 20 minutes or so. Fairbanks and Kenai River later on tonight. In Topeka, the Roadrunners have scored 2 in the second. They now hold a 3-2 lead over the Lone Star Brahmas, and sure, the Wildcats want to shrink the deficit at the top, but first and foremost, they want to make sure that Lone Star does not pick up any more ground on them. The Wildcats hoping for a win tonight, while Lone Star trailing 3-2. It is 3-0 Amarillo leading the Odessa Jackalopes in the second intermission there up at the Budweiser bullpen in the Texas Panhandle. 3 goals in the third period from Brady Crabtree, Charlie Combs, and Luke Novak. Second for Amarillo has them on top. That is the Jerry Sporting Goods Out-of-Town scoreboard. We'll keep an eye on some of those scores as we continue on throughout the remainder of the evening. We'll step aside and come back. When we do, we'll have the third period of action here from the K. Yeager Coliseum. Are the Wildcats going to be able to get something going on offense? Stick around and find out after the break as Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing, will continue on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Jaeger Coliseum. Will the third period prove more fortuitous for the Wildcats? We'll find out. 20 minutes of hockey ahead as the Wildcats are trailing 1-0 on the 11th goal of the year for Parker Wood in that second period as he swatted home a rebound. Wildcats changing ends here. We're skating 5-on-5. Austin Shaw in the cage to our right, and the cage to our left is Nick Schmidt. As start out this period skating 5-on-5. You'd love to see the Wildcats really dominate from the opening shift of this period, really get themselves on the front foot, play with a little bit more urgency, a little bit more intensity, as it looks like it will be Albrecht, Staub, and Lazarus out there to start. We'll see also if we see any line shuffling here. Either way, it'll be Lorraine to take the draw against Staub. As the linesman Samek brings them together and the puck is down, we're underway in the third period. Brought to you by American Classified, as this is Cook flinging it cross ice. Trying to step onto this one and not able to reach it there was Lazarus. It's playing up the wall. Staub trying to hold his own. Cam Knight, slap shot, wide of the cage, hoping for a tip in front. This is Cook. He'll play this one down low. Staub crunched hard into the boards there, taken off his feet and lost the puck, as this is picked up by Lorraine, served back behind for Evan Bell. Bell through the middle. He was open for Parker Wood. This goes all the way down the ice and will be an easy icing call with 30 seconds gone in the first period here in the third period here at the Jaeger Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. And a clean sheet of ice. Ice looking a little bit soft down there, a little bit slushy. We'll see if it solidifies at all in this third period. Face-off will be to the left of Schmidt. Tied up off the draw. Jaeger picks this one up as we do see some line shuffling here. Bolio, Apap, and Jaeger together now. We'll keep an eye on where Max Reisinger might fit in all of this. Bolio tied up off the wall. Jaeger and Apap coming along to help out and pull it free. Here is Apap, pressed hard into the wall there, but he'll walk free. Apap serves it back towards the corner. Jaeger and Bolio. This is Bolio. He'll spin away from a check and step free. Looks to play towards the middle of the ice. Can't reach it there as Zumalitis will pick this one up and clear the zone. Chernyuk back to his own end to retrieve. His pass through the middle of the ice, left behind there momentarily by Apap. Walking free here is Croston. Croston, his shot, steered aside there by Austin Shaw. Croston picks up the rebound. Served back behind the net. Trying to pick this one up and play it along are the Killer Bees. Works its way along for Austin Bolio, who flies this one cross ice for Jaeger. Jaeger rubs his man off the puck, but can't pick up the loose disc as we played 90 seconds in the third period. Wildcats trailing 1-0. Jaeger just in front of the penalty boxes, quickly back to start up the ice there, as this is Subri spinning it along. Here is Nick Farmer. Farmer trying to walk towards the middle. He'll jab at it there, and we'll get the whistle here, as Schmidt was able to keep that one from going home. And a little bit extra here. Abbott and Farmer coming together. Farmer went cartwheeling over Nick Schmidt. Just a couple of hockey players coming together there. Nothing malicious about it. But Abbott took exception and gave a little chirp to Nick Farmer. Farmer gave him a cross check right around the thighs. Abbott returned the favor. The referees separated them, and we'll move on. 18:20 remaining in the third. Faceoff is to the left of Schmidt in the Wildcats offensive zone. As Farmer is taking the draw out there with Subri and Falconer. Off trying to fight through the check there was Farmer, but it's sent all the way down the ice. It will come up short of icing here. Racing to meet it here is Weiss. Rather wiping out there behind the cage was Wisely. It's picked up by the Wildcats, but they can't clear. Here's Quick towards the net, wide of the cage. Shaw saw that one very late. On the near side wall, a couple of guys cancel out as a two-aside, now a three-aside battle will develop. Schofield worked it free for Weiss. Slap shot, knocked aside there by Austin Shaw. It's Quick. Far side on the corner. He'll play it down low, hoping for Schofield. Swatted around, works its way to the near side, Wisely towards the net, and it's behind the cage. Schofield first to it there. Chips softly towards the corner. Wisely is there as well, waiting for some traffic to develop in front. Instead, this is on the stick of Falconer, who clears it, but only as far as his counterpart. Robert Click hammers this one in on net of Austin Shaw. He'll seal up the 5-hole and move it along for Shane Kosmeski. Kosmeski hard up the ice there, hoping for Albrecht, having to clear the zone on a delayed offside. Our Rio Grande Valley as Baum will look to reset. Baum's pass almost turned over. Albrecht going to play this one up the ice through the middle. Charging after this one is Lazarus. He'll win this one in the corner. Lazarus forced off it there, trying to get it back as a two-a-side battle ensues. Squirts free here. Staub, his shot blocked in front there as this is picked up by the Bees, and they'll look to start it forward. Bennett, his pass to the middle of the ice. Canceled out here in an offside play as Wendling was in early. 17 minutes remaining in the third. The Wildcats now trailing 1-0. Parker Wood, the only goal in the contest thus far. The Wildcats, when trailing after 2 periods of play, well, the numbers aren't great. 2-6-0 when trailing after 2. Rio Grande Valley, when they have the lead after 2, are 4-2-0. Hasn't happened too often, but when it does, they're winning about 66% of their games. Off won by the Cats. It's Cook. Now Cam Knight. Knight looks to get to the red line. Chips softly ahead. His pass didn't reach a teammate here as Bell plays this one back out into the neutral zone. Left behind here by Knight. Floated back towards Matt Cook. He'll swat this one free, but it's touched up in the neutral zone by a Wildcat skater. That's Lazarus. And that'll draw a whistle on a hand pass. 16:45 remaining in the third period. Wildcats trailing 1-0, and the faceoff coming in their defensive zone to the right of Austin Shaw. Back here at the K. Yeager Coliseum for the second time. Hopefully we are good to go here. 5:44 remaining in the third period. The Wildcats are trailing 1-0 as you didn't really miss much in the last few minutes as we were away. Face off to the right of Austin Shaw. Played down the ice. Weiss first to it here for Rio Grande Valley. Chipped forward. This is Wisely. Wisely loses out. Cam Knight tries to dig this one free on the near side half wall. It works its way along. The Wildcats trying to dig this one free. They have 5:20 to rescue this game. And if they lose it, they'll have no one but themselves to blame because they have been lethargic for the first two periods. Hooked out towards the middle there. Having his pocket picked was Balsamo, as now Cook looks to play this one forward. He chips it. Schmidt will step away from his crease. Left there. Cook ran his man hard into the wall there on the near side. This is Bolio trying to pitch this one back down low. Wasn't able to do so. 2-on-1. Here is Balsamo. Balsamo's shot saved. Rebound picked up and put right back into play as APAP turns it over. This line just not communicating well right now. The passes aren't clicking. Guys aren't finding one another on the ice. 4:45 remaining in the third as the Wildcats are desperately trying to salvage something out of this contest. Cam Knight almost left it behind here. Knight will bump this one back along and give it to Townsend. Here is Townsend back to the near side. Skated onto here by Farmer. Here is Farmer trying to walk forward. Hauled off it. No call coming. He was held from behind. My goodness. 4:20 remaining. Wildcats in the neutral zone possessed in the form of Townsend. Worked along here. Overskated though by Farmer. Settling here. It's picked up by Shane Kosmeski. Kosmeski's pass trying to find Townsend there at the red line. Townsend sweeps this one in deep. Left behind, Falconer looks to play towards the middle. Out in front, Farmer had his stick canceled out with 4:02 remaining in the third as Schmidt will cover up the loose puck. Off to the right of Schmidt. Staub out there with the Wildcats, desperately seeking a grade A look. They've limited Rio to 22 shots on goal in this contest, but they have not been able to get anything in the offensive zone going as this is played forward here by Rio Grande Valley. This is walked forward by Zumalitas. His shot saved and held by Austin Shaw. 3:47 remaining in the third. And as the Wildcats have 3:45 remaining to try and rescue this one. We don't mean to harp on it too much, but this was about the most lethargic we've seen a Wildcats team look in a game this year. They just came out, didn't have a lot of jump, didn't have a whole lot of life. Not quite sure what the reasoning is for that, but either way, they really never looked like they were at the races. Aside from Austin Shaw, he's been pretty good tonight, as this is Lazarus off the faceoff trying to start something forward. He looked for Litviak. Litviak reaches, left it behind as Nikita will pick this one up. Nikita tries to gain the zone, got a little too fancy there, and the Wildcats will lose possession. Some of you, if you've heard that one before. Now it's Matt Cook through the middle of the ice, hoping for Litviak. Couldn't catch it cleanly, as this is once more in the neutral zone. Chipping at it there are both sides. It works its way back into the defensive zone of the Bees as G-Rod tries to clear out. Lazarus tagged up, but they'll whistle it down anyway. His skate was on the blue line when he blew the whistle. 3:18 remaining in the third. We'll get a neutral zone faceoff. Faceoff brought forward by Kosmeski. His pass as he tries to go down the wall is intercepted. Second attempt, he'll stash it towards the corner. First of this one is Bell. Held in here nicely by Townsend. He'll shake to some space and play it around the boards. Last 3 minutes, the Wildcats trailing 1-0 here as they try to get something going on offense. But once again, this is cleared all the way down. No icing. Townsend, hard up the ice. Wildcats chip this one in deep. That was Yeager chipping at it. First do it here behind the net, Rio Grande Valley, but it's Kosmeski in front. Here's Yeager in front there, and he got too fancy as Bolio couldn't clean up the rebound. This one bouncing towards the cage of Shaw. He'll swat this one away as Kosmeski keeps things moving in the last 2.5 of this third period. Softly ahead by Townsend for Yeager. Yeager, his pass. He was trying to hit APAP. Instead, it floated over his blade as Van Tile plays this one down the ice. Onside play there for Croston, but he had his pocket picked by Yeager. Sherazin motoring forward at the right wing circle. Here's Sherazin trying to walk in front, saved by Schmidt. Loose puck, swatted out of midair. Sherazin on his backhand, turning around, his shot blocked, and looking to start the other way on a breakout. This is Lorraine, 1-on-2. Lorraine can poke it towards the middle. The net is off. Weiss put it in after the net had been knocked off its moorings. A minute 59 remaining in the third. The Wildcats with a decent look, but not able to find the back of the net, and then Lorraine almost had one there to seal the deal. Off to the left of Shaw. We'll see when the Wildcats will pull Austin in favor of the extra attacker. They need a goal from somewhere, as this is Colin Staub looking to race it forward at the left wing circle. He'll bring this one in. Staub tries to hook towards the middle there, and Schmidt made the save. Oh my goodness. Staub played it towards the middle. I believe it was Albrecht on the back door who got his stick free, and he just couldn't poke it home, as getting just enough of it with the skate was Schmidt. You could see kind of the turning point in this game for Nick Schmidt was that sharp snap glove save he made on Yeager on that delayed penalty in the second. Since then, he's been completely locked in. Wildcats are able to force this one towards the corner. Weiss first to it there for Rio Grande Valley. Cleared, nicely held now by Townsend. Townsend on his backhand, tries to force towards Staub. He found him. Here is Staub. Canceled off the puck there, and he'll lose out, as this is Wendling playing it softly forward at the red line. It's into the far side corner in the last minute 20 of this period. Trying to work it free below the goal line was Cherniak. Trying to keep it tied up below the goal line was Zumalitis. Rather, that's crossing there, and we'll get a whistle to freeze things. But 6 extra seconds tick away from the clock. A minute 14 remaining in the third, as the Wildcats are trailing 1-0, trying to find a game-tying goal from somewhere when it has never really seemed like they were going to get things going on offense. Off to the right of Shaw. Wildcats need to win this draw and get it up ice quickly. You expect Austin Shaw to come to the bench. This is a situation the Cats have not been in too much this year, and they gave it right away as Bolio was trying to find Yeager. We tick down towards the last minute of play in the period, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. This is Cam Knight. Off to the right wing side, now back to the near side. APAP catches it. He'll play it off the wall and serve it towards the corner. Shaw comes to the bench for the extra attacker. It's Nick Farmer. The Wildcats can't hold the zone quite yet, however, as they're losing out on possession. Near side, they dig for it, trying to hold the zone in the last 45 seconds of this contest. They trail 1-0. Finally, they still squirt it loose. Bolio couldn't find it, however, as Van Tile is rubbed off it below the goal line. Loose puck. Abbott has his pocket picked there almost by APAP. He'll spin all the way around. APAP lost his stick in the net, and this is cleared all the way down the ice. Comes up short of icing. 24 seconds remaining in the third. Net empty. Cam Knight. Can he start one last rush? Here is Knight. Far too slow with it, has to turn back. It skips along there, easily gloved down by Bell. He'll try to shoot it for the empty net. Loose puck, 8 seconds remaining, and it's on the stick of Bell once more. Floated towards the empty net, wide, and will be icing with 3.1 seconds remaining in the third. That's trailing 1-0, and it seems like this game is going to just kind of peter out, as the Wildcats just were never up for the task here tonight. Rio Grande Valley came in with a game plan. They were going to clog things up through the middle of the ice as we get a timeout here taken by the Wildcats, and they executed it to perfection. The Wildcats had no plan B, and it certainly didn't help that it was a pretty sluggish start to the period, or start to the game by both teams. We're going to need to see a much better response out of this for the Wildcats tomorrow night. Wildcats have lost 6-3 this year. They've lost 7-4 this year. They've lost 7-2 this year. But in terms of play in the offensive zone, this is about the least fluidity we've seen from the Wildcats. What do they draw up here? 3.1 seconds remaining in the third. They're trailing 1-0. Townsend, Bolio, Cook, Farmer, Staub, and Sherazin out there. Face off to the left of Schmidt. They'll look to overload the strong side. That's the net side, as Farmer will take the draw. Might win it clean back to Townsend if he can, as there's 3 on goal side for the Wildcats. Face-off canceled out. They can't get it towards the net, and that'll do it. Horn sounds as the Wildcats lose to Rio Grande Valley 1-0. Wildcats outshot Rio Grande Valley 34-23 on the game, but they never really got things going on offense, never really looked like scoring, and at the end, there's really only one team that you could say deserved to win this game, and it was the Killer Bees. They'll come away with the 2 points. We'll step aside. We'll wrap it all up here on the Wildcats Broadcast Network and FastHockey.com as Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing concludes just after this. Back here at the Jaeger Coliseum, putting the wrap on this one here as the Wildcats fall for the second straight time in this building after 11 straight wins. 1-0 was the final score in this contest as Rio Grande Valley picks up win number 14 on the year, just their 6th road win of the season. Let's get you the scoring summary here, and boy, it won't take long. Just 1 goal to get through, and this one, Parker Wood scored on a rebound at 13:49 remaining in the second period. That was the game's only tally. The Wildcats never really looked like scoring after a sharp glove save in front, maybe 2 or 3 half chances, but I think what we saw here tonight was this was a Rio Grande Valley team that is dealing with a little bit of an illness that's running through their team right now. They were perfectly content to play at a slower tempo, at a slower pace, and let the Wildcats throw as much as they could, and then they were just absorbing the pressure and sending it down the ice. The Wildcats had no plan B, and they never really came out ready to play at a fast pace. Their tempo was never really there. They let Rio Grande Valley dictate the pace of the contest, and in the end, it burned them. With the loss tonight, Austin Shaw, hard luck loser, he made 22 saves. He looked good, and we'll say that he didn't really have much of a chance on that goal. He was probably unaware that Parker Wood was lurking behind a defenseman after he had kicked that rebound out into a juicy area. He falls to 14-5-0 on the season. Getting the win tonight, they had Ben Johansson listed as a starter, but Nick Schmidt was the starter. He gets the win tonight. He picks up shutout number... goes to 7-9-1, or 7-9-2 on the season. With the win, Rio Grande Valley 14-7-5. With the loss, Wildcats now 25-10-0. They've lost 2 straight, and a little bit more worrisome for the Wildcats. They've lost 6 of their last 10 reminder, we'll be back here tomorrow night, not the same time, however. 5 p.m. puck drop between the Wildcats and the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees, as that'll bring us to pregame at 4:50 on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. We remind you that all, of course, brought about by the Jersey Off Our Back auction on Saturday evening to benefit Children's Miracle Network. Well, we certainly want to thank you for joining us on this presentation of Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Part of your Friday evening wherever you may have been joining us from. We hope to see you back here, same place tomorrow night at 4:50 on the pregame as the Wildcats look to bounce back from a 1-0 loss to Rio Grande Valley. For all of us here at the Wildcats, I'm Ben Horner saying thanks so much for listening. Good night and take care.